Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of Where's My Podcast. And today we're joined by a very, very special guest. This is somebody I've wanted on the platform for so long, and I'm so excited that we finally made it happen. We're with my guy, Patrick Adjaye, the founder of DressCode Nation. Bro, you do so many things. Even when I was thinking about how I'm going to introduce you, bro, I didn't know what to say. But yeah, with my brother Patrick. Patrick, thank you so much for coming on the platform.
Oh, come on, bro. Appreciate it every time, man.
Come on,
like, just to say, I've been watching this podcast from the jump.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, from the jump. So I always knew we're going to get it in.
One
anyway.
day, innit?
Like, yeah, 100%.
And now we're here, bro.
100% we're going to get it in. So I appreciate you lot for having me. Still.
Love, bro. Love. But obviously, from watching the episodes, you know that for the first minute or so, I basically say why you the guest and the chair. And like I said, bro, for you, there's so many reasons. But the first one I put, and I titled it as your serial doer. You're one of the people that I look at within. Do you get what I mean when I say that? Like, it's like, I feel like anything that you think of doing, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a rare trait because me, I have loads of ideas, but often I convince myself that I can't do it and I just won't do it. Whereas I feel like you're so confident in who you are and what you have to offer that the ideas you have, you know that you can turn it into something. And that's something I respect about you so highly, and I kind of want us to break that down. And to take it another level, when I speak about your confidence, I feel like the confidence you have in yourself has made you the type of person that is so willing to help others, bro. And I respect that about you so highly. Like, obviously, prior to us meeting, I would have seen you online. And naturally, when you see someone online, especially fly people, you think to yourself, yeah, they may be a certain type of way. But from the minute I met you, bro, it was love. Like, I saw that you were willing to help me. We have conversations where you'll be like, do this, do that. And I appreciate that so much, bro. And it's funny because, like I said, even when I was doing my research, I scrolled all the way down to the bottom of your Instagram. And I clocked that you put up a post saying it was like a picture of two bodies, bro. And the body, one of the bodies, somebody took a block out of themselves and they gave it to someone else to make that person fall.
Crazy.
Bro, and this was after I had thought about this stuff. And I saw that picture and I was like, so Patrick is really the type of person that will impact himself.
I forgot that I even posted that.
Can you imagine? So I just really want to talk about why you are that type of person because I think it's rare, broski. And then, yeah, obviously you've done so much within the fashion space. You've been here 10 years plus. And I know that you have so much knowledge to share with our audience. And I think I'll be doing them a disservice if we didn't have a conversation, bro. Because, sorry to go on for so long, but let me back up now. But to go on more, like, I feel like there's certain people within the space we're in now that don't necessarily get their flowers because even though we've had conversations about the way you put yourself out there, you're not trying to make a massive bang. You're not doing anything crazy to go viral. So because of that, people can forget. But then when I think back to kind of what you did with your first brand, then obviously what you've done with the DressCode Nation community, I don't feel like the independent fashion space we have at the moment would be the way it was if it wasn't for people like you. Even things like luxury streetwear, for example, you kind of showed man about luxury. You get it? Like, there's other brands than just the Gucci's and the LVs. You opened our eyes to these type of things, and now we're seeing loads of British brands that have kind of taken on that energy and are thriving, bro. So yeah, man, I wanted to give you your flowers. I wanted to learn from you, and I wanted to thank you, bro. So big you up, man.
I appreciate that, man. I don't think anyone's ever said something like that, boy. That's proper. Yeah, man. I don't think no one's looked in depth, like to that extent, to even realize that I contributed at least to that. Do you know what I mean? So I appreciate you saying that for real, man.
No, you definitely have. And it's interesting because when I said to people, so literally I bumped into my cousin a couple of days ago and I was like, yeah, I'm going to record on Friday with, Uptown. He's like, huh? Bro, he was so happy. He's like, he literally shook my hand and like, he dapped me up. He's like, bro, that's a big deal. You get it? Because the people that know P, they know what you've done, bro. And I'm hopeful that by the end of this conversation, people will realize, and it's not because I want you to big yourself up. No, I'm not saying that. But I want people to hear the story so that they can see what's come before what we see now. Because the way the space is thriving, it didn't happen overnight, bro. When you first started, like, it was a whole different ballgame, and we're going to get into that, fam. But cool. Let me go into my first question, which is, yeah, man, tell me about your upbringing. What was like growing up, where you grew up, where you're from? Take it away.
Yeah, so I'm from South London, Southeast London. Aylesbury Estate to be exact.
Famous Aylesbury.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Aylesbury Estate to be exact. That's where I grew up. Do you know what I mean? Like I was born there. Yeah, man. I don't even know how well to explain Aylesbury because just like most people that come from deprived backgrounds, it's just the ghetto, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's just the ghetto. But you know what it is? Take away, like, in wherever there's poverty, people know how to create happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's something that people need to understand, because, like, I know I'm fast forwarding it quite a bit, but I've been in affluent places and these people don't really seem as happy though. Do you know what I mean? As when I was younger and me and all my friends would go downstairs to the park and just chill and play, do you get what I'm saying? And play pound up and all that. Like, that's real happiness. When we were all in the playground, when we were at Burgess, that's like raw. We were really happy. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't see that. I see a lot of like adults taking their kids to like classes and that, which is nice. It's sick, but are they really like that happy? Do you know what I mean? So I would say like, yeah, it might have been an area that's a bit deprived financially, but do you know what I mean? That's where culture's made, innit? That's where everything that's raw is made. So yeah, man, that's where I grew up.
And I'm happy you positioned it the way you positioned it, because I feel like often when we kind of talk about our experiences of how we grew up, when we grew up from deprived backgrounds, people make it seem as though you're looking down on that, even just by talking about it.
Nah.
But I'm happy the way you showed that a lot of beauty comes from there at the end of the day. And obviously being a West Londoner, when I've come across South Londoners, I feel like you guys have an what's the word? An extreme level of grit and hustle. Like, broski, man, don't get me wrong, me and our people, we try and do a thing and whatnot, but when I come across people like you and other people I know, you're just able to be resourceful and do things, and you don't give up. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that comes from growing up in areas like Aylesbury.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. Like, you got to think, I grew up in an era where the richest person I know in that area wore like the same tracksuit every day, the same pair of trainers every day, probably had like a cool stack under his mattress. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the era. The South Londoners are known to just be on this grind. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Where it's like the only thing they care about is the goal. Do you get what I'm saying? They don't care about how they look. No trim. Do you understand? That's why when I see people like AJ, when he says certain things, I'm like, do you see that's what it is? That's where it comes from. Do you get what I'm saying? When you see AJ and he's got a fight coming up, guy ain't got no trim, he's just in go mode. He don't care about what someone thinks about him. You don't care what he looks like. You don't care about nothing except for the goal. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people from South, especially where I came from, that was everyone's mentality. Just be on their grind. You see them every day, just on the same thing, looking the same, but like with a goal. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was hard to really decipher between who's got something and who doesn't have something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Do you know what's funny about you saying that is because I can't imagine you wearing the same thing twice. so when you was younger, yeah, and you was there, like, were you that one person that would try to put on as much as you can? Like, when did you start to realize you cared about fashion? Is what I'm trying to ask.
When did I realize? I think I always cared, but you see the thing about me, I'm like a sponge. So my uncles and that would be rocking like 95s, like different colors, Moschino V2s. Do you know what I'm saying?
Your Ghanaian uncles were outside like that?
Yeah, but like my uncle's not young. He's not old like that. That's like my mum's youngest brother.
Okay.
So when I say like my uncle, you might think, oh, my uncle. But I'm telling you, he was like young. Do you get what I'm saying? So he's rolling with football players and he's a football player, innit? So I'm around them. I'm around like people that he's around, my older cousins. So I'm a sponge. I'm caring about what they're on. I'm not caring about what my generation's on. Do you know what I mean? I never really thought about, yeah, obviously we go to school and everything. Like obviously everyone likes this, everyone likes that. But I'm coming into school and I'm rocking like MX 95s with different color laces. People are like, mate, what are you even wearing? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's that? Or I'm wearing like, because I'm taking note of what they're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm wearing like superstars and that. in an era where everyone's wearing Reeboks, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know
It was a
what I'm saying?
Reebok time them times. you know?
Yeah, like people wearing Reebok classics. I'm thinking about Superstar because I'm in another era, basically, even though I'm in my era. So I've always like been a sponge to the people that I'm around. Do you know what I mean? Like when people are doing, when I saw them doing all of that, that's when I was like, okay, cool. And then I think when it really clicked, when I'm like, nah, I like fashion a bit much more than a normal person, is like, I would always see what my uncle and the older people around me were doing. But I think when my dad used to say, like, you know how it is, bro. You get one pair of trainer a year and one tracksuit. Do you know how it goes, innit? Like, come on. I remember when I went to go and buy my kickers for school. Mate, everyone's getting the standard kickers. I went and forced it, and I went and got the blue suede with the gum sole.
I've never seen those.
Do you get what I'm saying? With like the white stitching and stuff. Like, why did I force it? Now, I take them to school. Yeah, it's lit. Everyone thinks, raw, I've never seen this color. After like 2 months, head teacher comes and says, yeah, you can't wear them, you know.
How comes?
Because you can only wear black shoes.
Okay.
And my shoes are like suede blue. It's navy, but do you get what I'm saying? Suede on top of it. If it was navy,
then you could have cut through.
Leather, cool.
Yeah.
But I forced it, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I went a bit too far. So I feel like that's when I clocked. My dad said to me, if you think I'm going to cop you, and you're mad. You are mad. You see them pointy toe shoes that you got? You have to ride them, bro.
Did you like that?
Yeah, he got me still. So I was like,
We say you got cooked the next day in school.
cooked. Bro, they finished all my brethren. Yeah, man, they got me. They got me until I could save up some little pee and get some wallabies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Wallabies cut through.
So then I could cut through, but I had to get cooked for a little bit because he was not having it. He was not having it. He was like, I told you, are you sure you're allowed to wear these? And I was like, yeah, don't worry. It's cool. I see all my people wearing navy ones and that.
Oh, you was just lying.
No, I see a couple people wearing a navy leather.
Okay.
But I think when I done that, and then a couple of my brethren, we all had like, we started getting a bit too wild with the kickers colours and stuff.
Yeah.
I think everyone was like, he was like, nah.
Yeah, that's to stop that.
Nah.
But how comes, did you have a desire to be different from a style perspective, or were you just emulating your uncle and his people because you looked up to them?
Nah, because I liked what they did, but I always wanted to do it in my way. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because, that was sick for their era. But let's just say if I came to school dressed in V2s, iceberg tee, and let's say like some 95s or some Gucci loafers, I'm getting cooked. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm getting cooked. You can't come to school like that. Like, no one's going to understand that, let alone rate it to that point where they would even want to do it themselves. So I always wanted to like take bits, like, okay, he's telling me about this. I'm seeing this. I'm watching like Smack DVDs. I'm tapped in. I'm watching everything. I'm tuning in. Do you get what I'm saying? To everything. So I think it came from that, like just filling yourself up with as much knowledge as possible, and then thinking about how you're gonna do it in a way that translates
to where you are,
where I am right now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Where, let's say, an older would see me and be like, "Nah, he's tapped in, you know. He's kind of tapped in," but I'm not competing with them.
Okay.
Do you understand? And people my age would be like, "Nah, P comes true with some new bits, you know." Like, do you know what I'm saying? So I think it was more like that. I just get the adrenaline from literally like just finding about new stuff.
Yeah.
And trying to communicate it to people.
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes from,
and
really.
You can't even explain why you're like that. You're just like that. More of a nature thing rather than more of a nature thing rather than a nurture thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it comes from my parents, you know.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe it comes from my parents because my mom's also someone like that. You know what I mean? Like my mom will wear like native material fabrics and that, but she'll take it to a tailor and she'll tailor it a bit differently to how everyone else is doing it. So she'll get love for that. Do you know what I mean? When it's a risk, but sometimes it pays off. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you get a love for it and people appreciate that little change that you've done.
Facts.
So I think maybe it comes from that. Maybe it comes from my dad as well. Like, he's someone that he likes tailored stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's probably where I learned it first, I would say.
But what I liked most about hearing that is the fact that you said you wanted to make things your own. Because
Yeah.
again, I think that's rare, bro. When we was young, growing up in certain areas, like the goal, and you were kind of explaining this before, I feel like the goal was to almost just assimilate.
Yeah.
Just like, don't stand out. Do you know what I mean? Make sure that you're dressed the same as everyone else so that no one else can cook you. Do you get it? So the people that always kind of put their head above the parapet in that sense, I rate it because I wasn't like that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I know.
So when I see people that were like that, I'm like, but why were you like that though? Why do you think you were so brave to just be different?
Because I think in a place where everyone is the same, yeah, you have to be bold to an extent. Because if you're not bold, then you won't do anything. And if you don't do anything, you're not gonna get out. You're not gonna get to where you want to get to. No opportunity will come. Do you understand? If we all like leave this place the same, then how do we expect someone to approach us or feel like they could approach us with an opportunity? Do you understand?
100%.
But I feel like when you have, or when you do stand out, as in when you are bold sometimes, yeah, in your approach, people, the person that you're looking for, yeah, will find you. That's how I see it. Like sometimes you gotta be bold in your approach. Humble, but bold. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you always have to have a certain level of humility in anything that you do.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because we're not perfect. So we're never ever going to be able to do something and just like completely do it with 100% finesse. I don't think so. Even the people that we think do stuff perfectly, like Pharrell or something, if we ask him, your show was amazing, there's probably dramas happening in the back.
And he'll be the first to admit that.
He probably the first to say, mate, this went pear-shaped. Don't get it twisted. That probably didn't happen how it's supposed to. But we had to improvise. And do you know what I mean? And that's at that level. So there has to be a certain level of humility in everything that you do because you can learn from everything.
100%.
So,
100%. Yeah. So obviously, speaking about your interest in fashion, naturally, in fact, not naturally actually, because I was going to say, often that can transcend to one wanting to work in fashion. But the reason I kind of had to reframe what I was saying was because back then, fashion wasn't an option, bro. Or it didn't seem like an option. It was either you try to become a footballer, you go uni, get a job, or you trap. That was basically
one of the three.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That was
so when you realized that you were a fashion guy, if you want to call it that, what was the thought process after that?
So I think, like my cousin and his friends. Sorry. So my cousin and his friends, just to give you a good timeline. I think this is the moment for me, because I went to school and everything that I was geared to do was to go into finance. Do you know what I mean? So I went to school, studied like always business, maths, statistics. Do you know what I mean? Economics. These are the things that I always studied. Accounting and finance. That was the path. Do you know what I mean? Just so that people know, even in my 6 weeks holidays, like when we were on holiday, bro, I used to voluntarily work at accountants in Deptford.
Okay.
It's also in South.
Yeah. But what was Willie and Deptford's relationship at that point? Was it okay?
No.
That's why I had to bring that up.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Do you get what I'm saying? So that in itself was like raw. But I was always, not to say bold as in like, oh yeah, I don't care like that, but come on, I'm in my suit and I'm going to. If your intention is pure, more time I feel like you should be cool. And plus it wasn't school time anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I say that more to say, I went there to learn. So during 6 weeks when we're just dormant, I was annoyed, don't get me wrong, in the beginning, like I was annoyed because I was thinking, my dad, why do you want me to do this though? But he was like, nah, you're not just gonna sit here for like 6 weeks doing nothing. At least try and like learn something. Then you can, you know what I mean? Then I was like, yeah, cool, true, like I can put on a suit every day, like look fresh. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, like that's a bit further down the line. But the moment is like my cousin and his friends started making a clothing brand, which was also unheard of. Do you know what I mean? And then I begged him, bruv. I begged him every day. I need one of these tracksuits. I need one. for on close day. You know, on close day, yeah.
Yeah.
I lived for on close day, bro. Think about it. That's when I knew, nah, come on, man.
That's your
you
World Cup
understand?
final still.
That's like, yeah, like, come on, man. That's El Clasico there. Do you get it? Like, World Cup, like, mate, on close day, you can wear what you want to school for the day. And after school, that's you, like,
You could
we're
go
just
somewhere.
outside.
Yeah.
Nah. Mate, I don't think you can give me a better present than that. I don't think so. So, do you get what I'm saying? That's my interest. How would I not know that, I'm a fashion you? I must be. So, anyway, I begged my cousin every day, like, I wanted to wear this tracksuit. I begged him, bro. He gave me one of the tracksuits eventually. Obviously, he knows I ain't got money like that. So, he just gave it to me anyway. Yeah, like, all right, cool. So, I took it, wore it to school. Mate, I got love, to the point where, like, I brought people to come and buy the tracksuit. So he looked at me now like, huh? Do you understand? But I'm not.
Is it because he's realizing the power you
Yeah,
have?
he's clocking like, raw. Like, I didn't look at P like that.
He's just my little cousin.
Yeah.
That's not those cousins that they will say.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't look. I know he obviously does his thing, cool, but do you know what I'm saying? I didn't look at him like that. So then he would start like giving man bits and, you know what I mean? Yeah, like roll with me. You know how that is to roll with your older cousin.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand like that. Yeah, that, do you get what I'm saying? It's that. So, and then I think from talking and this, he started to clock like, he's not like people in his generation. He's not like that. Like, in terms of his head is a bit more screwed on. Do you know what I mean? So then he started bringing me in like a lot more into his business and what he's doing and everything, to the point where like I'm involved now without even not realizing that man's proper involved. But this is still like just fun to me. It's not like, how can I put it? You know, when you think you're in business, you're like, yeah, we're in business. This is serious.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun.
Because you're around your big cousin and his bedroom.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Clothes made, this, that. This is like, bruv, what? You get what I'm saying? This is just sick. So I think that's when I realized, like, yeah, like, he's a fashion youth, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's just one of them guys that just like fashion. That's all we talk about. That's all we laugh about. Dissing everyone.
Wait, you realized he was, or you realized you were?
I was, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
talking to myself, yeah, like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm a fashion guy. Do you know what I mean? I just knew, like, because anything that I was doing, I would always bring it back to fashion. That would be the core of it.
Yeah.
If I'm going to work, I'm thinking about what am I wearing to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm thinking about, like, whatever, this is school, an on-closed day, I'm thinking about what am I wearing. Do you get what I mean?
You're linking the thing, you're thinking,
I'm
what
thinking,
you're
what am I
wearing?
wearing? This is what I'm caring about. Like, yeah, his fit was cold. That's it.
That's what you lived for.
That's it. So I think that's when I noticed, like, yeah.
So when you notice that's power, but it's like, how does one use that power? And like I said, back then, even if you had that power, because the world was so different, or our world was so different, people wouldn't even, one, realize it's a power, or two, know what to do with it. So because of that, it becomes redundant, it becomes useless. So when you realize that, what did you say? What did you decide to do with it?
When I realized that, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually like embrace it now.
Okay.
Because I thought it was a diss sometimes when people would be like, oh, that's the fashion you wear.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, in
Yeah,
the hood,
people say it down like that. Yeah, for sure.
like, do you know what I'm saying? So you be always like, you know what I'm saying? But then I embraced it a bit more because I'm like, yeah, like we are. Like me, us lot, my team, yeah, we are like the fashion people. But we get it though. Do you know what I'm saying? We fresh. There's nothing you lot ain't got. That man ain't got.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it was more like that. It was like, yeah, you couldn't look down on it because it was sick at the end of the day. What we were doing was unheard of. Do you get what I'm saying? So no matter what, I always knew that was a power because that's something that we had that people didn't have.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
We had something that people didn't have. We were able to create something and actually like embody it fully and still be sick, still be lit, still get whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I think that in itself made us realize like we have something. You can't laugh at us because of this.
Yeah.
This is lit.
I think this is a really good learning moment because obviously we're speaking about the type of backgrounds you've been raised in or whatever, and I feel like difference is always frowned upon.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is that, especially nowadays, it seems like the people who were most different back then are the people that are thriving now. Even when we was talking off camera and you were speaking about KSI, he was different to everyone around him.
Completely
and now
different.
look at him. Do you know what I'm saying? But my question is, why do you think, from a fashion perspective especially, people around you, some of the people around you would try to clown it?
Because if you think about it, yeah, like the coolest person that you can think about in the area that you lived in the mile radius of where you lived, like, okay, cool, they had nice clothes, as in what was acceptable to be nice clothes, like Armani. Do you know what I mean? Like certain things, Gucci, certain things were accepted as nice clothes. Certain professions were accepted, even though how mad that is. Like being a G was accepted, being a trapper was accepted. Or you worked. Do you know what I mean? People understood that, but people couldn't really comprehend, like doing your own thing, like making clothes and other people buying it, and people just thinking like, do you know what I mean? So I think when you're a bit different, like there's people that are also looking at that but can't comprehend it. And it's easier to laugh at something or make jokes about it when really like, nah, you should be like, raw, how you lot getting into X? Nowadays it would be different. Them same people that are probably laughing before, I'm sure.
Starting brands now.
Yeah. I'm sure. People that laughed, like they probably, all of them have a brand now. Or try to print t-shirts or try to do something like that. 90%, I would say. Do you get what I mean? So I think people just don't understand how you can do it.
Yeah.
So they think, nah, you're not, they just assume, yeah, you're not better than me. Like, so they think, yeah, I just think you're battling yourself.
Yeah, so sometimes it can be like an ego thing or insecurity. Yeah, which is understandable to be fair. When you grow up in them surroundings, what do they call it? Crabs in a barrel.
Bucket, yeah.
Crabs in a bucket.
Crabs in a barrel, yeah.
Yeah. But, so you know when you was mentioning your cousin's brand, was that Forreduci then?
Yeah, so basically he started it as it was a different brand name.
Okay.
Like before that, funnily enough, yeah. And then it was Forreduci. So at that point, then he had like all of us involved, as in it became all of our thing now, innit? Because obviously it's something that we need, it's a team effort. So yeah, so that's how it started, kind of. And that's kind of that was my introduction to being in the fashion industry. That was my actual introduction. So yeah, man, that's more or less how it happened.
Yeah, I definitely want us to speak about Forreduci. How do you pronounce it? Sorry, Forreduci, because we always used to struggle.
Yeah,
like,
Forreduci.
Yeah, everyone used to. We didn't know how to say it, but I definitely want us to speak about this a bit because I think it's one of those brands that obviously naturally, because it's been a while, people forget about. But when it was around, broski, you remember them hats? Oh my God, I don't know what was on it. Like, I don't even know what to describe what man was seeing, but the different symbols, I don't know what they meant. If you could explain them to me, that'd be amazing.
It was a bird. It was a Forreduci bird.
Yeah, the gold one.
I think that was a silver bird.
Okay.
Then the one was a Forreduci lion.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what was the other bit? I can't remember. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. But yeah, it was basically logos. It was the logos. So at one stage we had like loads of different logos. So we had like the Forreduci bird, the Forreduci lion, the Forreduci this. Do you get what I'm saying? I think the Forreduci, the man. It was the Forreduci man. The Forreduci character. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what it was on the hat. But people don't realize that when you look at those logos carefully, they were all like designed with an FF back to back Fs. So if you look at the lion, it's a lion, and then the legs of the lion is basically the Fs.
Oh,
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then the bird is like a F.
Yeah, I remember the
back-to-back
bird. Yeah,
Fs.
yeah. The wings kind of.
Yeah, and then the Forreduci man, if you look at the shape of him, he's an F as well.
Oh.
Back-to-back Fs.
Do you know what's so funny,
Yeah.
Pete? Because we, like I said, we couldn't understand that. I remember I have a twin
Yeah.
brother, yeah, and he bought one in it,
Yeah,
and my mum said he can't wear it
No.
because she thought it was demonic, bro. On my life, she
No
thought it was
way.
demonic. Bro. I swear down. That's why I said I
crazy.
need to make sure P explains it today.
No.
'cause I wanna show my mum this snippet, bro.
No. It was just literally like Forreduci bird, because we thought we were like Dipset. Forreduci lion. Do you get what I'm saying? Because obviously, you know, lion is like king. Powers. It's like just
It's a powerful symbol.
powerful symbol, really, bro. I'm telling you, it's not the person who designed like that. He's just someone that just a sick designer, bro. But we'll get into that. And then the Forreduci man, is a mannequin.
That was it.
That's it. Red, black, blue.
Yeah,
That was the colors.
yeah.
That was the colors of the brand. Like if you think about LV is like brown and
So you lot proper thought about that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get more into it actually, because I definitely don't want us to brush over this, because like I said, Forreduci was a real cultural brand. It managed, and even when we were speaking off camera, I was mentioning the fact that it managed to transcend barriers. Because back then, you know, we speak about the fact that the internet wasn't what it was. So because of that, even London seemed bigger. To get a brand
London
from
was
south to
big.
west was unheard of, bro. Do you get it? So talk me through that whole journey and how you guys were able to achieve what you achieved.
so you gotta think there's, like I said, there's like 8 or 9 people in the team. Yeah. Different ages, different demographics, different generations, different interests, different inspirations of 9 people or something. Sorry, so you got to think and this is where I think I learned about, you know, like you said off camera, you see me as the type of person that if someone was to approach me about something, like I would listen.
100%.
This is why, because everyone's voice was heard on the table. Do you understand? Like if I brought something to the table, as in if I brought an idea or concept, or it will get listened to. Someone else brought it, we will all listen to it. No one laughs at it, we're listening. We might try it, it might work, it might not. We laugh, bust jokes and keep it moving. We learn, keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where it came from. So with like Forreduci, there's so much people. Not so much, but there was a group of us where different inspirations, different ideas and different, like just a different mentality of everybody, different generations. So you go think about me, I'm like one of the younger ones, and I'm outside in that generation, young, where you're just about to get into the internet era. So borderline internet era. And they're from an era where there's no internet. Do you get what I mean? So just look at that alone. That alone should show you like, well, how do we communicate to these lot? And how do I make these lot understand that this makes sense? Do you get it? So I feel like that played a big part. You know, like we did so much things. So we like incorporated going to unis and stuff like that. We treated it like how people treat like wherever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? We treated it like that. So we were outside with it. Do you understand? Like outside, just at unis. People will tell you, bro, we went to like every uni across like the UK. Do you understand? That then even after that era kind of slowed down slightly, I was on BlackBerry Messenger and stuff, and I was thinking, yo, we need to make a BBM account, but for the brand. And this was unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that at that time. Now it's normal. You go on, like, all the big brands do it, DHL, everyone does it, but back in the day, no one had that.
Like I was saying off camera, people used to use BlackBerry for very different stuff. You don't need to
Do you-
say on camera, but different shit.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that alone, like at first everyone was like, nah, do you think that will work? Then eventually we're getting sales from the BlackBerry Messenger. Sales, like as if it's a website. maybe even more than a website.
So people literally just add it and then
Add
have
the
this
BBM
conversation
messenger.
and send
Yeah,
them.
I want a hat. Oh yeah, where are you? I'm here.
It was that simple.
This is how it was. How many? Because you got to think at that era, people did not leave their territory.
Yeah.
As in, like, you don't leave your block.
Yeah.
Not like going for. I mean, you don't leave your actual block where
It's
you
not
live.
like going from south to north.
No. That's even. You don't leave your block where you like just that square mile radius. You don't leave there really. So when people are buying and we're pulling up to their hood, do you know what I mean? We're going to every hood. Like I'm talking about inside their ghetto of every ends, and they're buying it, paying for it. Do you understand? So that alone was different. So you know when you're going there, like people are buying 5, 6 at a go. Because they ain't trying to come all the way to South, come towards Peckham or whatever to buy a hat and nearly lose your life.
Bro, it's so
just
mad.
to buy a hat. Like I got brethren that told me they came from East because we stocked in one shop in South. That's before we opened the shop. But we'll get into that, yeah. They told me, yeah, bro, we came all the way from East because that was the only shop that could sell it. Do you know what I mean? So then that's when I realized that accessibility, it's hard. So anyway, we made a BBM messenger that was sick. Bare sales from that. My cousin bought a smart car and printed it with the Forreduci hats and everything. So that was like the company car. No one was doing that either. Do you understand? So we had a smart car that was printed with our website on it, the number. Do you get what I'm saying? And whenever you're in that smart car, there's clothes, hats, business cards, whatever, something's there. So we're rolling in that more times. Do you get me? So this is the marketing that we used to do without noticing how crazy it was at the time.
Yeah. Because I wanted to ask, like, where did that level of because you kind of alluded to it where you said, obviously there was loads of people with different ideas. But even to have ideas, they need to come from somewhere. Like, where did that level of creativity come from? What do you think it was about you guys as a group that made you bring those special things to life?
I think we were just very open. And like I said, I wasn't the only sponge. Everyone was a sponge to everything. Do you understand? Like, I'm a student to this. I'm a student to this at all times. So I'm watching the American culture. You know what I mean? I'm watching our culture. I'm watching like everything. So I'm taking that into consideration. I'm taking what's going on around us. Because at the time, there was another brand that was actually big as well.
Which one?
Patrick Kevin. So there was a guy, he was a designer called Patrick Kevin.
That was his actual name?
Yeah, that was his name.
Black guy?
Yeah. From Brixton.
Wow.
From Brixton.
That's a wavy name though.
Yeah, and his clothing brand was lit. Velour tracksuits and that. Like, he had David Beckham and all the like big players wearing his clothes and stuff. So he was big. But that was like the only person that like we could see that was like doing his thing. But we were thinking, bro, we're not getting no David Beckham to wear our clothes. Let's be serious. Do you know what I mean? Not because it was unrealistic, but how do you even get to a David Beckham at that time? We didn't know.
And that was David Beckham at the height of his fame.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So how do you even get to David Beckham? So he was a guy, like he inspired us a lot. But we was like, yo, we can't get to them type of celebrities. So we have to work with the celebrities in our in our communities.
So the hood celebs.
The hood celebs. So that's why you see gigs. That's why you see Jaja Souls. That's why you see Sincere. That's why you see Tinchy Strider. That's why you see Tiny Temper. And these people wearing Big Nasty. That's why you see all them people wearing Forreduci, because where they're from, they're celebrities. Do you understand? They're celebrities where they're from. Maybe not to the like general public, as in, do you know what I mean? But they were celebrities where they're from. So them wearing Forreduci, you were talking to the whole community. Do you understand? So that was one of our biggest strategies at the time that everyone uses now like it's just nothing.
Yeah.
But at the time, it wasn't really
So it was
like that.
Micro-influencing before micro-influencing.
Bro, I actually brought influencing into that because at that time, I went to uni. So I knew about Don't Jealous Me, for example. So think about this, yeah? Don't Jealous Me used to make his YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Funniest guy ever.
Funny to this day. Do you understand? That's my boy. But anyway, I hollered at him like, yo, I want to
Gift you.
send you some of our pieces.
PR
and this and that.
package.
Send you. Everyone's thinking, bro, what are you talking about?
This cost.
Trying to get rappers, and I'm like, trust me. Bro, do you know how crazy? Do you know the conversion of Don't Jealous Me that time?
How did you not measure it at that time?
You just know that once this person does anything or
Yeah.
it's easy, you'll see the spike, innit?
Yeah. Better work Facebook ads, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
You just see organic spike. Do you get me? If someone posts something,
And then bare orders.
yeah,
It was
then
him.
you know it must have been that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's not rocket science. So that was just, these were like the things. Then Dotstar, rest in peace to Dotstar, but he's another person. He was big in the uni scene. He
Yes.
weren't really big at the time I'm talking about. He wasn't like as big as a Tiny Tinty Strider or something.
What's his tune again?
It's a sticker.
It's a sticker.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was in the uni scene heavy. So I knew these things. But that's what these lot didn't really know. And then I also knew that in the uni scene, people got money spending it on LV. And
What, their loads? Or?
yeah, people spending mad P on. Do you understand? So I brought us a whole new kind of audience with that. And then we noticed like, bro, Don't Jealous Me converts. Like, it's actually sick. The exposure, everything is good. Do you know what I mean? So then everyone was so more open to working with influencers. And at that time, the word influencer wasn't a
Didn't
thing.
even exist.
This is over 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So little things like that.
But this is way over 10 years ago, no?
Over 15 years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
probably, I would say. 15. Do you know what I mean? So think about it like that. So yeah, man, I think we were just always open to figuring out how to reach new audiences with the resources that we got. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think that's the key, because there's always a way that people have shown us now. You see what I'm saying? Now you can see, like, yeah, some people didn't have nothing, and then overnight, or not just overnight, to the outside looking in, overnight their thing just went from 0 to 100, which took a lot of time for them to be able to do that quickly. But it seems like 0 to 100 overnight. Do you understand? Now we know with the internet, anything can happen. But at that time, it was a bit harder because we didn't have things like that. So, yeah. So I would say, like, even like influencer marketing, like, man, thought of that. I never saw an influencer marketing kind of campaign happen before we did that. I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know. But I never saw that.
I can't think of nothing.
Me going to get Don't Jealous Me. Do you understand, when we're like so rap, hip hop artists,
That's what I was gonna
hood
say.
celeb focused? Getting Don't Jealous Me was not that.
It's
That
like,
wasn't
it
the
didn't make sense.
demographic.
Yeah. So do you know what? That's I'm really happy you mentioned that, P, because obviously with everything you just said, that was one of the main things that stood out. Like, I love the fact that you guys leveraged local talent to make it almost national in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You said less small to become big. But then more so, I like the fact that you mentioned gigs and Jar Jar So's in the same sentence as Don't Jealous Me.
Yeah.
That's two completely different audiences.
Yeah.
And for a brand to be able to be bought into by two completely different types of people is crazy to me.
It's crazy,
Like, why do you think you guys were able to do that?
Because, like I said, we were open, to listening to everyone's ideas. Just because I was the youngest doesn't mean that my ideas weren't valid. Just as much as the people that were like 7, 8 years older than me. Do you understand? But we have to understand, you have to communicate to both generations, because, having the older generation and the people that people think are kind of cool or whatever, they're big to you. When I was in uni, certain rappers that I mentioned were not big, because I'm going to uni with people that are coming from Leicester, different parts of the UK. We're going to different places. They don't know, like, gigs, for example. They don't actually know him. Do you know what I mean? So, but they might know Don't Jealous Me because he's on the internet, like on YouTube, doing videos that's getting 400,000, 500,000 of views. Do you understand? Who's watching this? there's people from there's not people from like London. There's not people from South London. There's not people from East. Or
People all over the world.
people all over the world watching this. Do you get it? So that's different. That's a whole different ball game. Do you know what I mean? And they love him. So whatever he's doing,
Yeah, they buy into.
I've been in places where people are like, yo, they're the biggest fan.
Yeah. If I saw him them times, even now.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Even now,
He was a celebrity.
Gassed.
Bro, he's still a celebrity. I mean, not he is a
He
celebrity.
was such an integral part of
Everything.
our formulation years, like the videos he always gets referenced. But you know what I love about what you're saying most, Pete? The fact that you guys didn't fixate on the idea of the quintessential idea of cool. Because you know back then when we was growing up, to be cool, you had to be a trapper.
Yeah,
you get it?
yeah.
Whereas someone like you realised that, don't jealous me, as much as maybe to your older cousins, he wasn't the cool guy that they looked to, but to all these other people, he is cool. And I think that's such an important lesson for brands to realise, because sometimes brands can fixate too heavily on forming like a personality or image of their brand, which is okay, and you should try to do that. But it causes them to neglect other people that could help their brand as well.
Bro, you spot on. And now that I'm a bit more into front facing, because at that time I was like behind the scenes, kind of like working on the brand, but not really putting myself out there like as a creator or something. Now more than ever I see that, because now brands tapping into micro talent, because brands actually like people that have a smaller audience, because their audience actually believes what they're doing. They have
That
some of
people
them
trust
them. Some of them have better conversion than people with the craziest following and stuff like that, for example, or bigger celebrities. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Brands are tapping into niches now. Brands are not tapping into, obviously, if you want reach and your aim is to get reach, this, that, and other, of course, you know who to use.
Use footballers.
You know who to use, innit? If you're trying to get the reach, or you get Cara Delevingne, or you get, do you know what I mean?
The
Like,
Jenners.
It's not rocket science, is it? We know who to go to, but brands are investing now, like, and paying talent that don't have big audiences, because those are the people that people trust. Do you understand? People trust them. So this is what we were kind of learning quite quickly. There was people in uni that were celebrities. I'm telling you.
Like in their uni.
In their uni. Like, those are the ones. Like, those were the people that you needed to get these clothes on. Don't worry about, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just a lesson for brands in general. Like, it's good to have small niches. Like, focus on them as well. Have an element where you always, do you know what I mean, do stuff for the smaller niches, because those people have, you'll be surprised. There's big celebrities, I won't even mention names, celebrities that have told me, yo, they check for X, Y, and Z. Yeah, like on their fake accounts and that. They pre what certain man are doing. Yeah, they check. They know what they're doing, because they know these people are tapped in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a celebrity, you know how hard it is to be tapped in with everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And have your career, and do this, and protect yourself. And it's a lot of things. That's why a lot of them got stylists and etc. It's a creative team to help to make sure that they're tapped in and stuff like that. But these people are watching someone. Everybody is inspired by someone, however big or small. I've been inspired by people that's big. I've been inspired by people that, like, someone wouldn't even think I'm inspired by.
Like, even the fact you said you listen to the pod, like, there's so many people you haven't heard of, and you learn from them.
Yeah, but of course I listen to I listen to this because I listen to this pod mainly because of who you are, as in, I know that you do this for a reason. Do you get? You do this to tap into something that people ain't really, it's not an element that people are looking at. So whilst everyone's looking like here, you're like, yeah, this is cool, but look here too.
Yeah.
Like this, you need to pay attention to that. So that's one thing I like. And I also like listening to conversations that are not generic. You understand? I like to hear different elements of a person, because I feel like you learn from someone after listening to a conversation. You know?
100%.
Personally, that's what I think. So.
100%. So Bro, remember before we started the convo and I said there's so many things to speak about. Because all now we probably be speaking for an hour.
I know.
And we ain't even got to DressCode
nowhere.
Nation yet, bro.
Yeah, we ain't got nowhere.
Not even like that, because bro, this is so important, and the way you describe the Forreduci story, and I know there's so much more you can say.
Yeah.
Like people are really gonna learn from that, bro. 100%. And I think now let's start moving into DressCode Nation. Because this is the P that I know. Bro, I didn't know you was involved in Forreduci until I mentioned you to one. I mentioned that I was recording with you to one of my bedrooms. And it was like, yeah, you know Forreduci, and I said, huh? Bro, I could not believe it. It made me even more happy to speak to you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, because obviously you learned so much during your time running a brand, but obviously DressCode Nation was a community. It wasn't a brand. So why that pivot?
So when we were doing Forreduci, of course we were young, we were like outside, we were, as this generation would call it, do you understand?
Lit.
And and obviously you don't really realize how big something is until later. Do you know what I mean? Just basically like put it like that. So I feel like there was a lot of things that we didn't do properly, or just naturally when you're doing something with more than 2-3 people, you know, like it's gonna be difficult.
100%.
Especially where we are with all the pressures that's going on. So I feel like obviously that situation went a bit left, as in like we just all kind of not fell out because it was like family, but
you wanted to do your own things.
Yeah, like everyone just kind of evolved, like situations happened and everyone kind of evolved and kind of went their own path. So obviously I was going my own path, and like I said at the time, even though we were doing Forreduci, I was always like in school, I was in like uni, I was in college, I was in uni. Whilst I'm doing all these things, I'm still doing that. But as I'm doing that, I'm still like working in accounting. And then I think, where was I? Yeah, so then after that, I thought, you know what? I want to still do something in fashion, but I weren't sure what it was because I was like, I don't want to do a clothing brand again because it will never be like that. Not as in it can't be as big as it or bigger than it, because obviously it can. But I just felt like how it happened, like the history that was made, I'd rather just leave it alone.
It was so organic.
It was organic,
so pure. You didn't want to try and recreate that.
Come on, man. I don't want to recreate that. It would never feel like that ever again. So I just thought I want to do something in fashion, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I just knew just not a clothing brand. Anyway, I'm now working in like Barclays. I'm working in Barclays as a cashier and stuff, like part-time, still going uni and stuff like that. And then I was thinking, you know what? Like one of my friends always, because we always used to have slang, everyone that knows me will know our slang was always like decode, whatever, decode, that's a decode, you get what I'm saying? Like we always used to say that. Like whenever anyone dresses sick, we'll be like, yo, that's a decode still. To this day, I still say that. Do you know what I mean? So that was always in my mind. So everyone around me always knew I say that, like everyone says it as well now. That's why I know they've been around me for too long, you get it? So then like one of my friends was like, yo, you need to like do something like about decodes, like, cause everyone always comes to me like what to wear, what do you think I should cop? Are you man's going shopping? They'll shout me like, yo, cause they know I'm not gonna do the secret thing and go and buy what, you know, back in the day, you couldn't even go shopping with your brethren. You couldn't even go shopping with your brethren. Like your brethren would actually tell you, nah, I wouldn't even cop that, you know. That looks dead. You lot go out next week. He's wearing it. He's got the full set on. Everything he told you that was dead about that fit, he's got it on. So you couldn't even trust someone to actually go and shop with. Do you understand? So my brethren was telling me, nah, you need to make something about decodes, like red, you know what I mean? Then I was thinking, bro, I was listening to Magna Carta.
Oh, what an album!
Oh, this is the zone I was in.
What's your favorite song of that album?
Of Magna Carta? Nah. Look, let me see.
You got to check.
I have to check.
Oceans, the one with Frank Ocean. Fuck Up the World.
I think it's either Fuck Up the World or Picasso. Wait, let me
Oh,
check.
Picasso, that's got to be yours.
Picasso.
Yeah. That's your
Picasso,
thing. Yeah. I should have said that first. Yeah.
Yeah, Picasso. Come on, it's Picasso. It has to be Picasso, man. Do you know what I'm saying? everything about Picasso,
Yeah, that's your vibe.
That's my I'm on. Do you understand? If you could say, oh, what song will represent someone like you, that you could play that. Do you understand? So yeah, so I was listening to Magna Carta. I was seeing him and Kanye on tour. I was listening to Ross heavy. That's when Ross was in his mixtape bag. So I'm just like, this is the type of zone I'm in, yeah? And then my brethren's telling me that. So I'm like, cool. Then I've come with DressCode Nation because it's got to be global. You know what I mean?
Oh, so D-code always stood for dress code.
D-code stands for dress code.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yep.
Because that's what it was really, innit? Dress code, D-code. So that was always there. Then Nation, like, that's what brought it together. I feel like, yeah, like it's global. Like
It's a community.
Yeah, it's like something that can just, it's about dress codes, but it's global. It's not just local. I think that's what, then it just stuck in my head there. Then anyway, like, that was on ice. Not as in on ice, but it was there. I set up everything, but not as in like I was going to do this, like that was what I was going to 100% do completely, because I still wanted to get into like accounting and finance. So then I left Barclays and went to Bank of New York. And yeah, like I did like a placement at Bank of New York for a bit. But I'm saying, when I was there, I got to where I wanted to get to in finance. Yeah, so I wanted to always work in Canary Wharf. I wanted to wear a 3-piece suit, yeah? And I wanted custom cufflinks. And I wanted to work like in some top floor building where you could see the city. But when I got there, I was like, yo, this is not what I thought it was gonna be like when you get here, you know? And I don't mean that as in like for anyone to take this and think that that's not a sick path to go down, because that was...
Because it is. It still is. Will always be.
But I just felt like I had a different calling. Do you know what I mean? Like my passion, that wasn't it. And you know when you get somewhere, you just know. And I feel like when I got there, I was like, bro, I don't think I could do this, you know? Like, I couldn't do this forever. That was the point for me when I was like, all right, cool. I know I can't do this forever. What am I going to do now? So then, funnily enough, I left that and I started doing like retail again. But I was always doing retail like on the low. So what people don't know is like I started in retail early from like college days. And I worked in nearly every huge designer store in Bond Street, Knightsbridge. Do you know what I mean? Like all the big designer stores, I probably worked in all of them. And people wouldn't even know that.
But it makes sense though.
Do you understand? So yeah, then I just started like, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to just get into this space and navigate from here. Because now I know what I want to do.
Okay.
I'm going to start DressCode Nation. Yeah, like...
But you just need to figure out what it is, or did you know what it was?
Nah, I didn't know what it was initially. So then I said, I'm going to do that. So when I started working in retail, I started meeting people like, I started meeting like footballers and everyone coming shopping and stuff like that. Then I realized like, yo, I'm connecting with people from different countries. I'm connecting with different backgrounds, just completely different. And I was like, what if we had a platform, where people could go on a website and let's say like you're a photographer from Italy. Yeah. When I go to Italy and I need a photographer, who do I holler at? I don't know who to holler at. At the time, Insta wasn't there. Or it wasn't like
what it is, yeah.
No one's on it. Kim Kardashian and that weren't on Insta when I started. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, your biggest celebrities, only like Soulja Boy, I think, was probably on it. But no, think about it like that.
Instagram used to look meaty. Yo, I remember, oh my God, with the blue at the top.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you remember the filters and that.
Oh my gosh, the sepia filter.
Yeah. So you got to think, that's the era. So I'm like, where do people go? So I'm like, cool. I want to start a platform, where all creatives can connect with each other. So if you're a photographer or you're a stylist or you're like a videographer or you're a designer, you can create a profile, and then let's say I go to Spain and I need a creative director for a photo shoot that I'm doing, or I need models in Spain, in or wherever, like in Ibiza, I can just go on the platform, type in Spain photographers, and profiles will come up.
It's that simple.
Just that simple. Bit like a LinkedIn, but for fashion. So I was like, cool, let me make a website and whatever. So I made a website. Then I was like, how am I going to get people from these countries to sign up to this website? So then that became the next hurdle. Then I was like, oh, damn, okay, cool. So anyway, I've started Instagram and we're connecting with people from like different cities. And I'm like, okay, cool. Me going to every city is going to take me like a long time and cost me a lot. Whereas I can invite people to my city and we can record something, and obviously they will send it out to their audiences. So I thought of an experiential video concept where I would invite people from different cities like Germany, this is where I met my girl, Germany, Sweden, Paris, Spain, whatever. Like we had like people from different cities there. So they all went to YouTube studios. No one even knows yet, but Posty patterned this for me.
Yeah.
So obviously I've known Posty for a little while, but yeah, he did this for me. So I wanted to record this. And then I found out that when you have over a certain amount of subscribers, you get to use the YouTube studio. So, but I didn't really know that. Obviously, I'm not in the YouTube space, so I wouldn't know that. And no one's out there telling anyone that this is, do you get what I'm saying?
Everyone's gatekeeping.
Everyone's gatekeeping. So I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So I'm like, yeah, I want to invite everyone, but where are we going to shoot it? Like people would actually want to visit. Because it's all well and good, and this is something I've learned over time. Everyone wants to put on an event, yeah? But what makes people really want to go to an event? They're either going to see someone that they want to see, yeah? Or they want to experience something that they haven't experienced before. So these are two key factors that people don't know. Like people, yeah, they know, but I'm saying this is very important. And I'm telling you, this has made some of the events that I've done and broken some of the events that I've done. Do you get it? Because not every, I'm going to tell you anyway, like I've had some events, bro. I've had some that I'm telling you, yeah, they never went to plan. They never went to plan. I'm going to fill you in, but... So then anyway, obviously I know Posty them times, and he's like, I'm like, yo, how do I get the YouTube studio? Like, how do I get it? Like, because I'd rather do it there, because I know none of these people been to the YouTube studios before.
So you know that would bring them.
That would attract everyone.
Yep.
I know that already. And Posty's like, yeah, it's cool, man. I can just book it for you, you know.
Is that simple?
I'm like, what? I'd have to pay for it. He's like, no, we can get it for free. I just need to book it. I'm like, nah, you're joking, bro. He's like,
because you were thinking you're gonna have to go through.
I think I have to go through so many hurdles. Like, this is another headache. Do you get what I'm saying? But Posty's like, yeah, what day do you want? Yeah, this date's there, this day. So I'm thinking, nah, it can't be this easy. Bro, he's booked it for me, sent me the confirmation and everything, whatever, boom, boom, boom. So that's love. Because even though it was a minor for him, but I didn't know. So I'm thinking that's a crazy hurdle. Yep. I'm thinking that's like, you gotta think in that time to go and shoot something at the YouTube studios and invite people to it. But that's a big deal.
It's unheard of.
That's a big deal. So, yeah, so then I've invited all these, I've told everyone, yeah, shooting at YouTube studios, this, that, and the other. Everyone's on it. Everyone's on it. As soon as they heard YouTube. As soon as they heard that, like, everyone's on it. Like, yeah, we're coming. I'm talking about people from different countries. That's crazy. They're like, yeah, it will come. Like, that's not even a problem.
And they're obviously flying themselves out.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I think we maybe covered like one person or something. But for the most part, majority of people that came on their own accord because they were happy. Then when I did that, I realized like, there's a reason why I wanted to do this, and I didn't realize it until today.
And what was the reason?
And the reason was all of those people that came that day were all like influencers online, very big, but still living like normal lives or trying to live normal lives whilst having a big profile online. So they didn't actually know how to navigate it. They had no understanding of, because you got to think, at that era, everyone that was big online was big from their bedroom. They never left their yard. They don't know even other influencers or anything like, they don't know anyone. They just have online mates.
Yeah.
but they have their own normal life. They just, when they get yard, do you know what I mean? And then they go online and stuff like that and they post their normal life. So they actually didn't know how to navigate, as in like getting sponsorship deals, getting partnerships, etc., which I didn't realize. Do you know what I mean? But luckily, we had like, at the time, I think I spoke to someone at Puma. And I was like, yeah, look, this is what I want to do. I spoke to like loads of brands. They were all like, mate, what are you talking about? Like,
they didn't get it.
they were like, who are these people?
Yeah,
What are you talking about? And I see all of them now, like using all these influencers. I'm looking at them like, look at you lot. Look at you lot. But it's cool. Like, you can't take it personal because they didn't understand what was going on. So at the time, there's an interview of me saying this, like, I have a feeling that the industry is going to turn into, like, the influencers are going to be like the football players or the music artists. You seen this?
You wear the white shirt?
Yeah, you seen it, yeah? Okay. All right. You see, this is why it's good to do stuff sometimes. But you understand? I said, yeah, like the influencers are going to be like music artists, photographers going to be like the stylists. Do you know what I mean? Like, the industry is going to evolve where the creatives are going to be like how the music and the football industries are. Like, every element of it, which you're seeing now. You're seeing artists like Sloan doing these. You're seeing Gabriel Moses. You're seeing...
Big facts.
Facts, bro. You're seeing photographers that are like big photographers. Do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
Like,
Back then, photographers were just fucking paparazzi, bro.
That's it. Like, you got big creatives right now, influencers that are like transcending to like celebrity status.
They're stars. People look to them.
Do you know what I mean? So that they're being used for global campaigns. Do you understand? But at an era that wasn't heard of. So anyway, after speaking to like loads of brands, I could see none of these brands are interested in what I'm talking about. They're like, yeah, you just keep doing your thing and then do you know what I mean? But Puma were like, oh, you know what? I like your concept, yeah? I like it, but we ain't got no bread for you. We haven't got any like money that we can support this with, but what we can do is send out some product to you. And that was I was like, what? You're just gonna send out like bare shoes? Obviously, I couldn't act too fresh, like I didn't know what I was talking about. So I was like, yeah, that would be nice, kind of thing. Mate, I'm thinking, how am I gonna ask about sizes and this and that? How many are you sending? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, then the guy's like, yeah, just let me know like sizes and stuff like that. So this is how I realized about seeding.
What's seeding?
Seeding. Like gifting.
Oh, okay,
gifting.
okay.
Sorry, yeah. That's just another word for what it's like, gifting. So then, yeah, like sent out some Puma trainers and all that. Do you get me? I'm like, raw, like this can actually work. So anyway, we've done the event, bro. Everybody that came knew that they were somewhere, the beginning of something that's gonna happen. You know, when you could feel it. Because like you never seen these amount of people in a room, like in a room together.
Like these amount of people that they've seen
online, in a room together. Like no one's seen that. That's just the facts. But anyway, we created like an experiential video where it showed the whole process of a photo shoot and everything involved. So a stylist, makeup artist, model, videographer. Do you get what I'm saying? All elements to what takes to do a photo shoot, for example, from start to finish. So we showed it. And that was kind of like the introduction to what we wanted to create. So that's how we launched it, DressCode Nation. So it was like a community. And what we wanted to do was connect brands and talent. Do you know what I mean? Because at the time, brands were doing things with people, but it was, for example, like, let's say Nike, for example, they would do stuff with a football club, but not necessarily the talent at the club, the players individually. It would be with a club. So back in the days, if you realize, if the club was sponsored by Nike, all the players will wear Nike boots and everything, just naturally, because that's just how it was. But in America, they had separate sports deals, separate partnerships. So we were like, this is what we want to bring like over to the UK a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Because not to say that they can't get it, but no one's done it or no one's really doing it like that. It's not a thing here, just put it that way. But now you see it like a club can be with Nike, for example, and the players are wearing New Balance or players are wearing Adidas. They've got their own separate boot deal. Do you know what I mean?
It's like every player is almost like their own business.
Their own business now. Do you know what I mean? And that is dope. Some players are even sponsored by designer brands now.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is
what
even
was it,
more.
Gucci and Jack Grealish.
Yeah, Jack Grealish. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know who he's with though. Grealish, I think. Yeah, but Grealish is signed to a designer brand. And loads of other players. So that's fire in itself. So this is what I was trying to introduce, like to an extent, with Forreduci. So with DressCode Nation.
But how did you foresee that though?
Because I was like I said, I've come from fashion, yeah? So I've seen where people are even taking it from where we stopped, like Trap Store, for example. We stopped, and at the time, we were probably slightly ahead, I would say, in terms of like how known we were as a brand, because Trap Store was very a West London thing.
Yep.
At the time, even though they were growing like crazy, but they were still more of a West London thing.
Like you were only seeing it in college.
Like we had a shop and like very early on. So I feel like I saw a lot. And then the time when I was dormant, I wasn't dormant. So that's when I visited my first, I think the first time I went to something fashion, I went to Milan Fashion Week.
Because of DressCode Nation.
Yeah. Like I went to Milan Fashion Week because I just was like, yo, I want to just visit somewhere and just, like, how do we do this? Do you know what I mean? And then luckily I met Ricardo.
Ricardo Tisci?
No, Ricardo Zanotti.
Oh. The guy, wait.
Giuseppe Zanotti's son.
Oh, okay.
So I was working in Giuseppe. And this is how crazy this is, yeah. I was working in Giuseppe and he was in London studying because his dad wanted to learn English and stuff like that and go to school in UK. So he was bored out of his brains in this country. And then imagine I start working in Giuseppe. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know. And then everyone's always like thingy around him, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously that's the boss's son, you know. You know how I am, bruv. Like, I'm going to be me wherever I am. So me and him just connected, like proper connected. And imagine he's like full Italian. And I'm young. I'm proper young. So I don't think early on enough people were open to like
collaborating or
like just connecting with people. Yeah, just like now you got friends in Paris.
Everywhere.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't like that back then.
Now it's normal. But at the time it wasn't. And me and him just became cool. So then now he was like chuffed to come to like bruv, him having to come into the work, like into the store to work a couple of hours. He dreaded it. But when I'm there,
he loved it.
He's like, yo, this is lit. So now we're going out, I'm introducing him to London culture.
You're showing him a life he's never seen.
Never seen.
Yeah.
So he just literally in nights 24/7, doesn't know nothing outside of that. Do you understand? So imagine knowing someone like me, I know where you can go, where you can't go.
Yeah.
But I know how you can understand London a bit better. So then anyway, like I would always go to London Fashion Weeks and stuff like that. But it was always hard anyway, trying to get in. And
Even with DressCode Nation at this point?
No, I tell a lie. Initially, like it was easier because when you have DressCode Nation, like they say you can do press, coverage and press and stuff like that. But I still didn't understand it fully. Sorry. I knew that it works. Like I knew that's what it was, but I didn't understand the full grasp of it. So yeah, I would apply and stuff like that, and obviously you get accreditation, but I didn't really know the full scope of it. Anyway, I went to Milan because Ricardo was saying, yeah, they've got their fashion show coming up, whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I'm just going. I don't know nothing was going on out there. He said, bro, come, like, we're going. We don't worry, I'm there, innit? Like, whatever. So obviously I knew I was going to meet him on, like, the days of the Giuseppe stuff and all that. I know I'm waffling a bit, yeah.
No, you're not. Do you know what's so funny about what you're saying, Pete?
Yeah.
One of the questions I had was, it seemed like, because you had been going to fashion weeks for so long, it seemed like you really understood the importance of them.
Yeah.
At a time where, obviously we're coming from where we come from. It's very much streetwear. A lot of us, not necessarily neglected the high fashion type, but we didn't understand it. We didn't know what was going on. But it's funny hearing that you didn't necessarily understand it. You were just going.
Yeah. So it's not that like I didn't understand it, but because I knew that Italy is where like, so I don't know if you would notice it, but I have like a bit of an Italian touch to fashion.
Yeah.
So that's because obviously when I grew up, everyone was wearing Armani, Iceberg, Gucci. Do you understand? These are all Italian brands. So I always knew Italy was in my mind the mecca for this fashion, as in like designer fashion anyway. So I was always wanted to go, but I never had a reason to go.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then, like, when he said, yeah, they're doing this and that, I said, yeah, I'm coming. I didn't even let him ask me. I just said, I'm going out there anyway, I'm coming.
Did have you patterned out there though?
Not like, you got to remember, he was young as well.
Okay, yeah.
So I patterned myself, but obviously when I got there, we just, because you got to understand, you see, I went one up and he was like, obviously working. As in like he has to do stuff for the brand and he's the designer for the men's shoes and stuff. So I was like, I'm going there anyway. So I wanted to go to like, you know, like we have British Fashion Council where you go and like everything's going on within the British Fashion Council where like all the shows are happening and stuff like that. So in Italy is like Moda.
Oh yeah.
Like Moda or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go there. And I'm just going to connect with people in Italy and stuff like that. Because I know that's pattern. I'm going to go Giuseppe and all that anyway. That's pattern. That's cool. But that's not what that's not going to do nothing for me. As in, not that it's not going to do nothing for me, but...
That's more optics.
Yeah, that's patterned.
Yeah.
I need to go where where are the people that are like me, that like fashion? Where do they go? Because I don't think they're going to be there. Which I found out, they're at like other stuff. They're around. They're going to different shows. They're connecting at these type of places. So I've gone there. I've met some people. Obviously, the language barrier is nuts.
But I was translating even what it was.
Yeah. So then I'm understanding now. Like, there's people like me everywhere. There's people telling me, yeah, we're gonna go to Paris. We're going to go to this place. We're going to go, we're going from New York. Then I understood how the press works. Like, do you know what I mean? Where people go to New York, Milan, Paris, London. Do you get it? Then I understood, this is how it's working. So then, like, I'm just understanding the whole reason for Fashion Week and how the press sits into it, how the buy-in sits into it, how...
The whole ecosystem.
Yeah, the ecosystem of it. So I'm getting it now. But if I go and I just only go to Giuseppe where this shows pattern and whatever, I'll just go in. But like, am I really going to know what's going on?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, for a couple of days, I was just out there, like literally just connecting with people. And I think like that's where the passion came from for going to like fashion weeks, because people think we go fashion week just for the pictures. But bruv, going to fashion weeks is where you connect. Like so many stuff wouldn't have happened without me going to fashion weeks. So many things wouldn't have happened. Like loads of things. Loads of artists, from America tell me this all the time. The first time they met another rapper
was at fashion week.
Was at fashion week or was on tour at a festival and stuff like that. I just spoke to Smino the other day. Yeah. Smino's telling me the same thing. Because him and Sexy Red are from the same town, like city. They've never met each other before. But they only saw each other in London.
Fucking hell.
Think about it. But that happens. Because you got to think, look at London culture as well. How many artists, if they're not friends, see each other? No one.
They need something that brings them together.
Yeah. So Fashion Week is a different thing. That's how P. Diddy... Well, no, let me not even say that. But that's how you see like a Kate Moss with Anna Winter or Naomi Campbell with like, do you know what I mean, Ricardo Tisci. That's how you see that. You know what I mean? Like those things happen because in another element or in another space that wouldn't happen. It's not. There's not enough environments that's created for that to be possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I quickly learned that. So anyway, went to Giuseppe, and that's when I saw like the top end of how it works.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw, okay, this is where like the champagne, this is where it's flowing, this is where the celebrities are. Okay. I was like, oh, right, I understand now, like how it works. You know what I mean? Because at the time, that was like the biggest brand. That was like the LV now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was like the biggest
It was the
thing.
pinnacle.
Pinnacle, yeah. So, and that I was there, saw everything, how it happened and everything. So
what sort of impact did that experience, coupled with other Fashion Week experience, have on what you were building with DressCode Nation?
So, like I said, that made me highlight the things that were missing, yeah, and the things that we needed. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said at the time, there's people like that was in the fashion industry at the time when I was in the fashion industry, and I actually never met them properly. But I wish I would have known them at the time.
You lot would have worked on something together.
Tony Blaze, she's the editor-in-chief at Wonderland magazine. She'd been outside the same amount of time. Johnson Gold, he was doing his thing with Pause early on too. All these people, I wish we had met those times. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like if we had met, we were like individuals on a deserted island.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, because there was no one that looked like us that was here in these places. I was always
the one black you.
One, or do you know what I mean? Always like, and I can imagine it was probably like that for them, for example. So I realized like this, we need something where we can all know who each other are. Do you know what I mean? We need something where like we can bring people together and create that community. And not just for us, as in like on a racially, I mean like for us as people that's just in the creative space that want to do things, that we need somewhere where we can congregate. Like, how are we going to get bigger? How are we going to get bigger? If I don't use you as a photographer, I'm not using you because I don't like your work. It's because I don't know you.
Simple as.
It's just, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But if I knew you, maybe we would have worked together before. So
it's so interesting just letting you talk, because so many of the questions I had are just being answered. Like, even, I don't know if I said this on camera or when I was introducing you, but it's definitely in my notes. You're so collaborative. That's one of the first things I've noticed about you. Like, I feel like you're one of those people that you constantly want to bring people together. And for me, it comes down to your confidence and what you have, that you're just so willing to help and bring people together. And it's nice hearing you explain why that's the case. Because if you felt like you're on an island, then you know other people that felt like that. And it's not a nice feeling.
Bro, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not a nice feeling. I know they were going through that. And one day you probably sit down with those people as well, and they'll explain the same thing to you. Like, I'm telling you, it was like that. Because I can't picture how, do you know what I mean, they wouldn't feel like that. I didn't see like hundreds of people that look like me at these places. I never saw that. Do you get what I mean? So, of course you would have felt like that. And plus, there was no one to help, no one to ask for guidance or advice. So you are literally creating your own path. And as people think that that's something to glamorize or like glorify, or like, yo, that's so lit, you got your own thing going on. Yeah, it's sick, it's nice. But 99% of the time, do you know how tough it is? Like, I don't think people understand. Like, you really actually have to motivate yourself, create an opportunity, position yourself for the ball to land into your lap. You probably have to go and kick it over there as well, and then run back to catch. You get what I'm saying? You probably have to do that.
And then you still need to be able to score at the end.
You still need to be able to score.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's not easy. So anyone that's really trying to do this because of the love for this thing, or that's really trying to create something, bro, people need to give them like any assistance that they need. People need to be assisting them, because what they're trying to create is not about them. Because I'm telling you, bro, if it was about me and just me trying to look lit,
stop time ago.
Me, bro, I don't need to do this. Not because like I don't need to do this, but if it was just about me, bro, I'm satisfied from just putting on a nice fit. Like, really, if you ask me, oh, where does your satisfaction come from? Bro, let me just get a nice fit, go somewhere and I can have a nice fit and just sit down and just be like this. I'm good. Like, in myself, that's what makes me, do you understand? Obviously, apart from your family being good and everything like that. But I'm saying, if I was selfish, if I only care, if I look fresh today, I'm cool. I don't, do you know what I mean? I don't want too much like that.
You're not motivated by greed.
Nah, bruv, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I like to see people winning. Do you understand? Anyone that knows me will tell you.
I think that's something that kind of ties in some of the names you mentioned together. Like, obviously you mentioned Johnson, Gold, Pause Magazine, big him up, everything he's achieved. And I like the way the convo's going, because as I said at the beginning, I want you sharing your story to make people realize what happened before where we are now. Because like, now we'll just see a DressCode Nation magazine, for example, that Unknown T can be at the front of. That helps extend his personality and enhances his career and his brand. Had you not gone through all the work that you've done, there wouldn't be those. Same with Johnson and everything he's achieved with Pause. Had he not done all of this, then the music artist that wants to develop their brand and build their universe can't do that. So that's why the conversations I think I get excited for most are the universe builders. Like, DressCode Nation is a universe. There's a fashion brand. There's a magazine now. Do you know what I mean? There's an agency. Is the agency still there?
Yeah, so like I said, when we initially started, so this is the path that we wanted to go down. We wanted to set up the community and kind of put the brands and the talent together. Then the spike happened when there was just like loads of like pages online that post fashion. Do you know what I mean? So then I was like, cool, we need to kind of pivot slightly because there's too many of this now. And then you saw what happened with like agencies. Then the birth of all the agencies came, you know, so which was good because the agency element of it was a way for us to actually do campaigns, as in how to generate money for the business. So we would do like influencer marketing campaigns. We'd be like, yeah, we know the influencers to use. We'll reach out to them, etc., etc. So that was good. So that was more the agency element of it, like getting talent and brands connected sort of thing. That was the agency element of it. But we didn't want to be a standalone agency because I feel like it gets lost in translation. You know what I mean? Especially now, there's
just
like
become one of the bunch.
There's like hundreds of agencies. So I feel like I don't think that was really, like what we wanted it to be like in its entirety, because it wasn't that. But it was an element to what we could do, because you have to pivot. You have to figure out a way for the brands to look at you where they can invest. Do you know what I mean? And that was an easy way for a brand to look at us and think monetary. Okay, cool. Yeah, like maybe we should spend with them on our next campaign. So yeah, it was that. And then, so that's how the agency element came about. And then, you know what? Like, after talking to a lot of the brands, they were a bit like, you know, we didn't have a big following online at the time. It wasn't really big. So then a lot of the brands were like, like you are showing us how to like grow our platform and stuff like that. But like, I think someone said one time, like, rude, like, but so why comes you guys haven't done this with your own platform?
Stuck on you like that?
Stuck it on me like that. And I was like, because like, that's not what we're trying to do. Do you know what I mean? And then like, I think my girl at the time was saying like, look, it would be easier if do you understand? Like, build your platform to a level so people know that you're capable of doing that. Yeah,
so it's like you need the validation.
Yeah, like you're capable of helping someone to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's hard to give advice when someone thinks you haven't done it before or thinks you're not capable of doing it. And there was no real evidence. Because if you check my personal profile, it's quiet. I'm trying to not show my face. I'm hiding. Do you know what I mean? Then the business is also like not the biggest audience because, do you know what I mean? I'm not focused on like us.
You're
like,
busy doing the real work.
We're trying to like connect people here. Like, why are you not worrying about me and us? Like, we're trying to connect. Do you know what I mean? But then I realized quickly, like, look, it's getting shallow. Industry shallow. You know,
They're
sometimes
becoming too fixated on the vanity
sometimes you have
metrics.
to show and prove. Sometimes you have to. So yeah. So I was like, you know what? Cool. We're gonna grow this page like and build this community proper. So then obviously that's when we started doing like events. We started putting together like you know what I mean, community stuff. We started posting regularly. Do you know what I mean?
Following started.
Then it just started shooting because that era was different to now. You know, like now it's hard to grow.
Organically.
Organically is hard. But that era, to grow organically was so easy. Like, it was so easy. You could see something that somebody liked.
Oh yeah, them days.
Do you know what I mean? You could see someone that someone followed. So it was easier to grow, like, at that time because you were getting exposed to everything. So yeah, we grew like crazy. So then it's like, yeah, okay, cool. Now you don't know we know how to grow an account.
So now you can listen to us.
Now you can listen. So yeah,
Now you can pay us.
Yeah. So then it got a bit easier. But then everyone started growing. Do you know what I mean? Like, then everyone started growing. So there's always a hurdle. Do you know what I mean? There's always a hurdle. So.
Do you know, Patrick? I don't know why. Have you clocked I call you different things all the time?
Yeah.
1 minute's Uptown, the next minute is P, then it's Patrick. Yeah. You know what, P? Do you enjoy like the challenge?
I love it, man.
Bro, I feel that energy, bro. Like, even though you're like, oh, there's another thing, it's like you're kind of even saying it with a half smile because it's like, okay, cool, now man's just going to overcome that. I'm going to jump over that hurdle.
So one thing about me, is I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. No one ever really put something in my lap. Do you get what I'm saying?
You've had to go and get it.
Always. I've always had to just like take it out of the ground. Do you know what I mean? Take it out of the ground, water the seed, make the. Do you know, I've always had to just fully get into it and just do it. Because even when I started, I wanted like people to help out, whatever. Like, people could have made my life easier, but they didn't. And that's no shade to anybody, because it's like everyone's got their own things going on, and maybe I'm not pushy enough with wanting people's help or something, because I'm always open. I'm like, yo, if you want to help out, like, there's no one's ever come to me and been like, yeah, I want to help out, let me work with you, and I'm like, nah, it's not really that. Like, if there's a way that we could do so, I will always do it, from then till now. So I feel like nothing's ever really been put on a plate for me. Do you get it? I wanted to be in the fashion industry. Nobody was like, I applied for roles. I tried to connect with people. I tried to do all of that. But there was no door for me to go through. I never knew anybody. I never saw no one. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't, there was nothing. I had to create a way to be in this fashion industry. Because, yeah, I'm not going to get invited to shows. But I want to go because I have an interest in this. And I want to cover it from our perspective to my audience. Do you understand? How do I do that? All right, I need to create a platform. I need to create like an element of this company that's press so that we can get accredited to do this. So man basically had to create a company. Do you understand?
To do the things you love.
To do the things that I love. So I'm used to it. I'm so used to it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's not there. I have to create it. What I wish that it was there and someone could just say to me, yeah, P, no, don't worry. You can come here. Do you know how happy I would be? Do you know how happy I would be if someone said to me, yeah, we got this magazine, this, that, and that other. You can could be an editor, blah, blah. I'll be chuffed. I'll be like, is it? That's it. Just me, just show up and just do what I like doing.
I reckon you would feel uncomfortable, bro. It's too easy for you.
Nah, I would love it.
You love it, yeah?
I would love it. I would love it because, well, I'll get into it. But anyway, do you know what I mean? But I've never had an opportunity like that before. So anything that you've ever seen me do, I had to really create it.
Do you see what I called you a serial doer at the beginning of the conversation?
Yeah, like that's why when you said that, I was like, bro, you don't understand. I actually have to do everything. I have to. Like anything you see me doing, or like P going to fashion week, this, that, I had to. I literally worked in a store. Like, this was like a nice thing, but I had a great relationship with somebody that happened to be the son of a big designer. Do you know what I mean? And went to Milan and attended the fashion week in Milan, but created some friends and connected with people. But think about the element to where it started from. Do you get me? I had to be like, nah, I left working in
a bank.
In the Bank of New York, in Canary Wharf. Do you get what I'm saying? And I worked in retail. I went to the store, was like, yeah, like this, I have to start somewhere, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I created all the opportunities. And that's what I'm saying is, it's easy for people to be like, yeah, no one's bringing man in and blah, 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 blah. It's easy for people to say that.
Real
But,
talk.
bro, you have to create your own opportunity. You have to create your own opportunity, play yourself the through ball, and you have to score. You have to. Because if not, you're just going to sit around and wait. You're just going to sit on the bench.
That's the majority
and there's
of people.
no players on the field. You go and find a ball, paint a grass area, draw the goal. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to do that. Just figure it out. So I'm so used to learning how to figure things out. I think that's just why it's like, if something's not there, create it. If you're not getting the opportunity to do something, create yourself an opportunity so that you can do that. Do you know what I mean? Because you're supposed to do that.
Do you know what? I think I'm so happy that people are hearing this type of stuff now because they need to. Because I feel like, particularly for younger generations, because it seems as though there's so many opportunities afforded to them already in comparison to what it was like when you were growing up or when I was growing up, it's almost like people don't realize that they can make their own opportunities. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they feel like they have to take an avenue that's already there. But because you were raised and grew up in a generation where you had to get everything from the mud, you see it. And bro, on my life P, I'm going to show you my notes afterwards. I wrote something like, you know how to make opportunities out of stuff. Like where things don't seem to have any way of making money from it or whatever it may be, you just seem to know how to do that. And it's so interesting seeing where that comes from. Because had you not said everything you said now, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't even have thought it was because of everything you've experienced. No, big up you for being that honest.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, trust me, bro. You have to create it. So all the stuff that you see me doing, I just created it because I want to be in fashion. I want to be able to do certain things in the fashion industry or give the opportunity to certain people to do things in the fashion industry that I didn't have when I was starting out. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know how to go to an event or anything like how. I had to search Eventbrite, I had to Google, I had to ask people, I had to go here, to go there, I had to fly to Milan to learn about how to do stuff in London.
Can you imagine?
Imagine that.
Can you imagine?
Like, just to learn that, because something that's so simple, someone had to tell me that in Milan. But had I not gone there, I wouldn't have known this. Do you understand? So, yeah, that's why I say I always have to create these opportunities for myself because, like I said, nothing ever gets put to me on a plate. Like, you might think, like, loads of people think, oh, like, come on, P, it's easy for you, though. Everyone says it to me. I'm like, you're funny, you know. Like, I wish it was easy for me. But it just wasn't. It wasn't. So, like, yeah. So, we just had to just create that opportunity. And then from that, things came.
Other things come. Yeah. So, speaking of other things, obviously, DressCode Nation has transcended into also being its own fashion brand as well.
Yeah.
And I think what you started it in 2017 or 2018 as just merch.
Yeah.
So then what was the thought process behind that? And did you have the intention to build DressCode Nation, the brand, into what it is today?
So we said, yeah, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to create the online community magazine, the fashion community. We're going to create that. And that's what it's going to be. So that was going good. It was going good. But then, like, I met my girl. And my girl said to me, like, you know, like, all of the things that you want to do, like, they're so sick. But if you just put yourself in front of the camera, all these opportunities will come to you instead of you having to chase the opportunities and try. So, because she sees me working. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't see the work. So they might assume that this guy, everything just comes easy for him. No, 90% of the time, if you know what I have to do to just get one opportunity, you might think, is it really that worth it, OP? You might actually ask yourself, is it that worth it? So she just said to me, you know what? You need to just put yourself in front of the camera, yeah, and make those opportunities come to you. I'm telling you, it will make your life easier. I'm like, what do you know? You think I'm gonna come and bait myself up online and do you know what I mean? Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. She's like, ah, you think I'm just saying that to you? But then I'm looking at her and I'm like,
because she's really doing her thing.
looking at her and I'm like, some stuff like she has an interest in, some stuff she doesn't even have an interest in. Both of those things come in her way. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas I'm like, yo, I love this. I love this. Like, this is my passion. Like, I will do this for free. Do you know what I mean? But that opportunity won't come to me. Do you understand? And she's like, no, like, I'm telling you, you just need, because people like you, do you understand? You, like, there's something about you that people will connect with.
They buy into.
Yeah, like, you don't need the world to, like, you don't need to have the craziest audience. No, just how you do your thing, that's it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I start, like, putting myself in front of the camera a little bit. Bro, I don't know how people start liking me like this, yeah. I don't get it. But obviously I start building my own little community, like, on my side. And people like what I'm doing and stuff like that. So it's good. But then it's like, it's growing now to the point where, like, people really care about what I'm doing to some extent. And then it's not just like people. It's like, firstly, you're inspiring people. Secondly, the people that you want to reach out to, they will find you. But you have to give them you have to put yourself out there. Do you know what I mean? If you don't have these conversations, yeah, like with other people, then I'm not talking about me, but one day you're gonna do an interview, yeah, that's gonna be a game changer, bro. Like, I'm talking about a game changer.
God willing, please.
No. This is facts though, bro. I'm telling you, one interview you're gonna do is gonna be a game changer, but you have to start somewhere. Do you get it? Like, and I mean, start somewhere as in when you did your first interview.
Yeah.
Do you get it? When you did your first interview, not to say that wasn't the best interview, but I'm saying
you start somewhere.
you have to start somewhere. If you don't start, how are you gonna finish?
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying? So this is what she was trying to explain to me, like, in not so many words, but then I always delve deeper into what someone says to me, because people don't just say stuff to you just to say it.
They've thought about it, especially someone that loves you.
Yeah. Like, and also sometimes a thought sparks something more than just a thought. Do you know what I mean? Someone can just say something to you, like, just like how my brethren said to me, you need to do something with DressCode, and that was a thought. Look at what it is now. Not to say that it's the biggest thing in the world, but I'm just saying that was just something simple that he said. But look at where it is. Even he says to me sometimes, like, yo,
you can't believe it.
What? This is what we just spoke about, like, just like that. It's like this now. So this is what I mean. She said something so small to me, but then I thought about it. I was like, it's true, you know? Like, it's not, I'm just thinking a bit selfishly, which is something that I don't do. But I think that was the most selfish part of me, where I was like, I don't want to be in front of the camera, how man grew up and that. Like, this is not what we do.
It's not me.
This is not what we do. Yeah. We don't do these type of things. Like, then I just was like, you know what, bro? I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if I have to sacrifice that element, do you know what I mean, of me thinking, I don't, and what don't I want to do this for anyway? When I delve deeper into it.
Yeah, when you really question, then.
Yeah, like, because of someone else. People that I don't care what you think. Like, you're not you're not in a room that I'm trying to get to. So why do I care, like, respectfully, about whether you see me online or not? Like, I don't care. Do you understand? So then I just started just kind of doing that, and then I was just like growing the audience, but like, man's inspiring people at the same time. And I feel like that's the crazy part, that people actually inspired. Like, they're like, yeah, I remember when you did
you were
this.
shocked.
I remember when you did this. Even when, like, you said to me, oh yeah, P, this, that, and that. I'm still shocked to this day when people say something and I'm like, bro, I'm online 24/7. Of course, you're gonna see
things.
X, Y, and Z, but I'm still shocked because I do stuff, but I don't do it because I want to be like known or something. I do it just because like it's a means for me to get to the place where I'm trying to get to open the doors.
Yep.
For someone that's like
everything else that comes with it.
It's like I'm not thinking about it, but it's mad. Like it's like, okay, sick. So yeah, man, that's kind of like how that happened. And then once that happened, I was like, okay, cool. So now I'm like proper immersed into this now. Like I'm creating content, I'm putting out content like on all platforms. So opportunities are coming left, right, and center, but I'm creating them. And I'm pivoting some of the opportunities for myself, for the business, do you know what I mean? And it's going okay. And then like COVID happened. Do you know what I mean? So when COVID happened, I was like, there's like so much time. Everyone's got loads of time and everything. Like I want to do something. But sorry, just before COVID happened, I had a meeting with a brand called Forreduci.
Okay.
Do you know this brand?
Never heard.
Yeah, it's a big brand. So they got like angels, you know the brand, yeah. So I had a meeting with them just before COVID. We were supposed to do like a big event in their store in
So like a dress
Soho.
code collab with them.
Yeah, like a DressCode Nation X Forreduci event in the store, which was like, yo, this is fire. This is the type of stuff that I want to do, like bring our community. Do you know what I mean? Like just not the typical like brand event where it's only certain type of people. I want to connect different people. So if you've been to any of my events, you'll know.
Facts.
There's like different people. You could see anybody at my event.
Footballers, models.
You could see anyone. You could see anyone.
Yeah.
You could literally see anyone at my event. So I make that a thing because like I just know it creates a better environment. Do you know what I mean? Seeing people, because a lot of the time, let's say celebrities, for example, have a stigma towards people that are not celebrities, as in they think they don't understand what it's like when you're a celeb, so they're always like stuck up kind of, do you know what I mean? But they're not. And then there's people that are not celebs that think celebs are a certain way and they have the same fun that you're having, maybe more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're even more cool. So I like creating those environments, do you know what I mean? So anyway, like, where was I?
You was meant to have the event with Forreduci.
Yeah, so I was meant to have the event with Forreduci, and then COVID happened, so we couldn't do the event no more. I was so, bro, you don't understand how gutted I was. Like, I was putting effort, I made the decks, everything, like, and they green lighted it as well. So
was ready to go.
I was ready, then COVID happened, so we couldn't do it. So I was like, you know what? One thing that they said was like, yeah, like if you had a brand, it would have been also dope. As in, like, we could have done a collab merch or something, like just something small for the store. And I was like, yo.
But was that a light bulb moment?
Light bulb moment. So then, when COVID actually happened, I was like, yo, you know what? If I had actually a clothing brand, yeah, that would also help me to do certain things in fashion and design.
It gives you another way to be in a room.
Different way to be in fashion. Yeah. But I need to separate it from DressCode Nation. That to the point where people know that it's associated, but someone could also think it's two separate things.
Yeah.
So I said, cool. We're gonna make it's gonna be called Coda. So that was DCN before.
I remember.
Yeah, it was called Coda. So I was like, cool. I'll make that as like just some merch, so that in case we want to do a collab with like a mag or somewhere, like, do you know what I mean? We could just do a quick merchandise with it because they already think we have merch. Bro, I put this merch out on my Insta and I was like, no way. Sold out like straight away.
First drop?
Just straight away. I didn't even order enough because I was not thinking it was like that. I didn't think people cared about me dropping like merch or something. But then everyone was like, yo, new FRD, like, yeah, Pete back with a clothing brand. But you gotta think everyone knows me for having a clothing brand. So sometimes like you're running away from something that's you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So you see like
when
how
it was just like everyone knows me for under the clothing brand, I was thinking, wait, what clothing?
do you get what I'm saying? So everyone knows me, like, or a lot of people know me for a clothing brand. So this is like something people want from me. Do you understand? Sometimes you gotta listen to what people want from you as well, because you might be given something that people don't actually want.
Real talk.
You might be, you have to know what people want from you too. So as soon as I dropped that, bro, it just went well, like in a way where I was surprised, because I was like, this is not that much effort that man put into it, and I didn't see it like that. But then you gotta think how much I've taken in from other brands, working with brands, my own brand previously, being in the fashion space. I know how to roll out clothes. Do you get it? Self-consciously.
And you had a great mix of the high fashion stuff
Yeah.
and the real from the mud street
Do
shit.
you get it? So self-consciously, you're building yourself up for something that you don't even realize. So sometimes you have to listen.
Bro, it's like God's just been...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. God just like puts these things in place for me, and then that's why like I don't complain when I have to do the work, because there's a greater reason for it. So anyway, started a clothing brand, went very well. Got loads of opportunities from that. As in, like, as a designer, we want you to come and do this, we want you to do that. Big opportunities, like, as well. So that was dope. And then, yeah, like the brand, the reason why we had to change the name was because we put it through like a system. Some people, I met with some branding people, and they said, yeah, let's check the IP and all the logistics that we don't think about. Do you know what I mean? And then it was already copyrighted or something like that. Or it was already registered for clothing and stuff by some coding company. But they had merchandise
that's so
as well.
Annoying.
Imagine, but they have merchandise, some stupid merchandise.
Yeah.
But the people that I was meeting with at the time were like, listen, save yourself time. It's long trying to go through a legal battle. Sweet brand, like, it's not a problem.
I can't lie, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise personally.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So then I was like, what name can I really use? Like DressCode Nation, I already have that. So I thought DCN, this is current. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense.
Easy to remember.
It's just like, and it goes together. So yeah, so then that's how DCN got birthed. And then, yeah, man, we've been going since. Obviously, I know it's been a bit quiet lately because obviously I've been working on the magazine now.
Been doing a lot, broski. Life's been lifing.
Been...
But speaking of DCN though, it's cold, man. Like these jackets.
Yeah. No,
I feel like you lot, when I think of DCN, I think of your jackets. That's what stands out. Even the red one with the white. Yeah. And speaking of DCN, like, obviously I think it was June last year, you showed at Paris Fashion Week. How did that feel for you, going to all these fashion weeks and being a spectator, and now all of a sudden you got your own show there?
You know, I have this issue where I don't think like I'm doing these things, and I don't.
Yeah. I've gathered that, to be fair.
So I'm like, nah. Listen to this. I said I'm putting on an event for Fashion Week because there's people in fashion that see me going to fashion weeks, but they don't know how to go to an event. How do you get in an event? How do you go to a show? The experience, people want to have that experience. Brands want to show their clothes at a show. How do we put on an experience like that? So then I was like, cool, let's do an event for Fashion Week. So we'll do a show, but we will have like 5 brands show like at once. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets their time to show. The people can visit the show. Brands can showcase their clothing. Obviously, we had a bit of a criteria. And then we'll have a party after. But this is in a time where no one's going Paris like that. It's just us lot. People just seeing us in Paris thinking, we want to go, but where do you start? So everyone's asking me, yo, where can we go? Invite man to this event. I'm like, look, let's just do an event. Then obviously we can create our own community. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what we're here to do. So I connected with Benny Boy and Jendea.
Yeah, with Ayo.
Yeah, my boy Ayo, you know. And I was like, cool, let's put on an event together for Fashion Week. No problem. So we said we're gonna do like a fashion show. All the while, I've got a brand, but my brand's not in the fashion show. Like all till the last like 2 days or something. Think about it like that. I just didn't think about it. I just didn't think it was necessary because I thought, look, DressCode Nation's doing an event. Why do I need to put DCN in there as a designer? And it's just long. I'm doing already too much putting this event together. And then I can't remember, like, I was just talking to, like, Meryl. She works with me as well, as my partner, yeah. She's like, nah, man, trust me. Just do it. Trust me. So the last minute, I was like, all right, cool. Let's just do it, innit? Like, let's just do it. Bro, one of the best things I've ever done.
Facts, man. Because you know what? I remember seeing
One of
those
the
pictures.
best.
Bro, I see those pictures and I was like, P's meant to be here. Like, you, because you done the thing, you know, you run down there. Yeah.
the infamous designer thing.
Broski, I seen it and I'm like,
yeah.
I remember feeling to myself, one, I was happy because obviously, man, I know you, I know Io, so I was happy for the whole thing. But then when I saw you, I'm like, bro, he's meant to be here. Like, obviously, you've built so much, you've done so much, and I'm happy that I can see you naturally in that position. It doesn't feel like this is a step too far. Because you know, sometimes that's the case. Like, when people are serial doers, other people from the outside looking in like, oh no, just stick to what you...
You're doing
you
too
get
much,
it.
yeah.
But when you did that, I'm like, no, I need to see more of this still.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is the thoughts that sometimes is in my mind. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I should do it. But I should do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, from the outside looking, you need to do that. Like, it's important for you to do that. Because there's other people that's going to look at that moment and be like, yo, that's where, for me, that I literally thought about doing that, like
2 days.
2 days before. I said, all right, cool, I'm going to do it. Like, literally. And I don't say that in a way to be like,
Not like an arrogant way. No,
it's not like that.
It's just the honest truth.
It's the truth. I genuinely, like, was more fussed about getting the other brands, everything to be coordinated, and us having the after party and the guests coming and making sure that they get the experience of Paris Fashion Week at our event, as you would normally, do you know what I mean, think.
So you was doing it for others, basically?
Yeah, I wasn't. But then, at least when I did, like, the show for myself, and I did my own show, I felt like a bit of satisfaction for me, like, wow.
But you were shocked?
I was surprised because I didn't think people were going to appreciate it that much. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, from the outside looking in, people think you're ready. But if you ask me, I'll be like, yo, I don't think I was even ready like that to actually do my own show. Same like what I was saying to you earlier, like, we look at Pharrell and X, Y, and Z and think, yo, they're doing everything at the cleanest level. No mistakes, no flaws. But we can go and speak to him and he might say to us, you lot thought that was sick. That was drama in the back. That this happened, that went left, that probably went pear-shaped, this, that. We had to improvise because of that. And we'd be like, wow, serious? It didn't look like that from our point of view. So, I mean, sometimes things are not going to be perfect or exactly how you want it. You still have to do it.
Facts.
You still have to do it.
And speaking of doing it, when you was telling the story of how this show came to life, because I didn't know all of this, it reminds me of when I first met you. Because Reese Shabbar, he brought us all together. We was in White City House, and you came with Rory. And I remember I was sitting here, you were sitting opposite me, and I remember you saying, nah, man, we need to go to Paris together. I remember you saying like this, bro, we all need to roll together. And this is before any of this happened. So to see it go from that conversation to it in real life, I'm like, nah, that's dope, man. That's wavy, bro. Like, it's mad.
Reese needs to get a big up for that.
Of course.
That meeting was important.
It was, man.
Do you understand? Because you got, like, people that was level-headed together to come and, like, we all sat down. That doesn't happen.
Ever.
When does that happen? Plus, we need to do more of that. But how hard is it? Do you know what I mean? So, like, that was important. That was me, you, like,
Johnson, Danny.
Yeah, bruv. Like, that was a proper meet. Even my brother was like, yo, that was high-level talk.
Bro, real talk,
That's
bro.
what he said to me. Remember, Rory wasn't doing what he's doing now, you know? He was just on a gentle one, like, just listening.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Listen, speak less. Do you understand? Listen more than you talk. Speak less than you know. Do you understand? So he was literally, like, just there listening. Listening, like, yo, this is a proper conversation that needs to have been documented. But it doesn't matter. In our minds, it's documented. So it's cool. But this is what I'm saying. I was so on that because Reese had to say it to me once. He didn't have to, like,
sell it to you.
There's no need to sell it to me. Yo, yeah, we're all linking up, me and you, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, cool, say no more. There. And I never met you before. But I knew the fact that we're all there, do you understand? We all have to be of a certain level of wanting. That's what I'm saying. the people that were there were not selfish.
Yep.
Do you get it? Because if it was just about us personally, we wouldn't have been there. Because we'd be like, what are we doing here? What's this going to get from? What are we getting out of this? But we were there because we knew we need certain things in our industry for us to be able to move forward. Do you get it? Like, there's certain things that are needed. So that's what I'm saying. You have to have a passion for this thing. Like me, I'm not here because like I just want to do my thing and be lit and no. Because I want to set legacy and I want to set infrastructure in place that's going to help people. Do you know what I mean? That were like me 10 years ago. Do you understand? That's trying to navigate, but they don't really know, like the resources are not really there for us to navigate. Do you get what I'm saying? There, it needs to be a bit easier. So this is why, like, look at Rory. It's easier. It's not easy. It's easier.
Because of the things that... Yeah.
When I was his age, to go to a show was different. To be in the fashion industry was different. Do you know what I mean? Like the things that we had to do, we had to create businesses to be in fashion. Do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine?
Can you think about that?
Some people can just call up their auntie.
Yeah. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like Johnson and that, they had to actually create something to be here.
To be allowed to be in that room, bro. Blood, sweat and tears.
That's what I'm saying. So it's different now because there's things like Pause Magazine, there's things like DressCode Nation, there's things like, you know what I mean? There's different things available where people can be like, all right, cool. Like, I might be having an intern working with us. I might hire a photographer. Johnson might do this, or, do you know what I mean? Reese might need that. You might need X. Do you know what I'm saying? Look, when we was at Fashion Week and you lot was doing the interviews and stuff like that. Bro, we need stuff like that because what we're going to do, wait for like the people that are doing that now to just do it and that's it. Nah, we need it to hear what's going on at ground level. Do you know what I'm saying? From our perspective. So this is what I'm saying. So yeah, man. That's kind of how that more or less like played out. So that's how I started the brand and then, yeah, man, moved on from there.
No, man, I can't wait to get Johnson on here, man. Would he chat?
Huh?
Johnson, is he a talker?
Yes.
Like, yeah?
Bro, anyone that's been in the game for a certain amount of time
Wants to talk.
the thing about Johnson is that you've been in the game, seen so much. And I would say Johnson is a lot more like, his story will be interesting because he's been doing the same thing since he started, as in pushing one thing. And think about how much elements of pushing one thing for 10 years.
All that evolution.
Think about it. Remember, I've pivoted 100 times. Do you understand? I'm a hustler. Johnson's not like me.
Yeah.
Do you get him?
Really not.
Johnson's not like me.
Yeah.
So think about, he would have had one mission in his mind, one thing he's working on. If it's going good, it's good. If it's going bad, it's fucked. What was he going through them times? That's what I want to know. He must have seen some shit.
Yeah, facts.
He must have seen some shit.
Facts.
So that's why I would love to hear Johnson because, let's say I got into the print game of the magazine industry only like in the past 2 years. Do you understand? Johnson's been operating in it for 10.
Fucking hell.
Think about that.
So there's layers that you just ain't been exposed to yet.
I just don't know. He's had people try to buy, you know what I mean? Like Pause and stuff like that. Not to say that we haven't had offers for DressCode, but on a different level. Do you know what I'm saying? And Johnson will be able to, he will definitely give you some insight into some stuff.
Who else would you want to hear? Dagye. We need to do Dagye very soon still.
Dagye's another guy.
He's got skin in this game, bro.
Same thing, but these might have been seeing them. Like I said, all these opportunities I created myself. All these relationships I created myself. Do you understand? Dagye, I remember seeing him doing his thing back in the days with like NM and stuff like that, with the rhinestones and even like with all the football players in London and stuff like that. Like I saw him doing his thing. Then I was like, yo, I put an event together. Is it recording?
Yeah.
So I put an event together one time, in London, in in East London. What's the name of the space? Oval Space.
Okay.
So I put an event together in Oval Space, and I wanted to create like one of the events where you have like people coming, brands would be there, like selling their stuff. You know, like there'll be like brands there selling their stuff. There will be makeup classes happening where you could learn. There'll be meet and greets with some influencers. There'll be a performance, like a whole experiential event. Do you understand? We put that together. I hollered at, I saw Daggy doing his thing.
With the denims.
Yeah, but I was like, he needs, like, people need to know him though.
Facts.
Do you understand? Like, I know he's got the footballer audience. Yeah, I know that already. But he needs to be
He
like...
needs the fashion audience.
Yeah, but he knows, like, I know there's people that I know with paper. If they knew he existed, bro, they'll be buying. That's not even a question. Like, because his things are fly. So, and they're really constructed, like he does it properly. So that's just what I wanted to do, bring together like different people. Some people he never met before, some people he's met before. You know what I mean? Some people only knew online, same as me. Some people only seen them online and never met them in real life. So that was a good time for us all, like,
Just
bro.
Just be around each other.
So that happened. I did that in like, I can't even remember, maybe like 2010 or something.
2010?
No.
2015, 16, 17?
Maybe like 17 or 18, something like that.
2017.
I remember, yeah, I done it. That was some time ago.
Yeah.
I think about that. Do you know what I'm saying? That was time ago. Had them, had Daggy, had Marbeck.
Yeah, big up Laddie.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Did Marbeck, I had like a couple makeup artists. I did meet and greet with like big influencers. Their fans had never seen them before because they didn't think that if they did a meet and greet, anyone would come. Like, I'm talking like loads of people came. It wasn't the best event in terms of how it was run. Do you get me? But like I said, it takes time.
Facts.
So you see like the event that you came to last, most recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how long it took me?
get to
how
that
many
level.
events I have done that went pear-shaped to get to that stage where it's like now it's just...
Perfect.
They're not even... And I
But
was still
from the
tell
outside,
you,
yeah,
you get
yeah,
it? I will still
yeah.
tell you like some stuff didn't go according to plan. Exactly. But it's still at a level enough where like I know, this is good though. I know it was good. I can accept that, that was a good
that
event.
was good.
That was good. I can
and
accept
you did
that.
it. What you did it in two parts as well. You had the dinner.
Then do you understand? So I'm like, that was a good event. Cool.
Speaking about that event is a good segue then, because obviously that was for the launch of DressCode Nation magazine. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, no, thanks.
On that, I bought an issue, loved it, and I remember seeing that, and I just felt like this. Not that it was needed. Need is not the word, but this is meant to be here.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the personality that DressCode Nation has as a platform, it makes sense for it to be a magazine. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of magazine that particular types of artists would want to be on the cover on. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like DressCode Nation comes with a level of respect. There's a better word, status. I think there's even a better word that I'm looking for, but I can't find it. But it comes with like a taste.
Taste.
Do you know what I mean? That's when I think of you, I think of that. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So I was so happy when I saw you created that. So talk about DressCode Nation magazine. Like, why have you done it? What can we expect from it going forward?
So, like I said, I've been operating in this industry for a long time. DressCode Nation's been around since 2014, and I feel like in the fashion industry, one thing that in order to have a voice, you need to be able to dictate the tone of voice. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to dictate the language. You need to be able to dictate what's coming out about the audience. Or the reason why other industries and other communities and other races are ahead, or let me not say ahead, but are thriving, is because they are able to put out what they want in the press.
They control the narrative.
They control it. That's what the word I was looking for. Sorry. Narrative. Yeah? You need to be able to control your own narrative. Do you understand? Which platforms do we have where we're able to control our own narrative? Now there is platforms, which is a good thing. but we still need more though. Do you know what I mean? We still need more. And you got to think, I'm looking at it from a fashion point of view and a branding point of view and a taste point of view. Do you know what I mean? Like, where is it that we can go, have a voice, and that narrative will be spoken around the world? Like that
in the way that we want it to be told as well. Yeah.
Because I've seen photo shoots that people do and it don't look like them. I've seen covers of rappers, for example, and it's not them. I've seen interviews and I can tell they might not want to be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what they're talking about, I'm like, why are they asking them this rubbish?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We want to know X. Do you know what I'm saying? We want you to speak about this.
And the artist also knows that we want to know that, but no one's asking them.
No one's asking them. Why is no one asking them? Because the right people or the right community is not, do you understand? It's not positioned in a way for us to be able to get that out of them. Do you understand? So I feel like one thing that we've been doing is been posting and creating fashion content for like 10 years. I know that we've been doing that. So technically we are an online magazine, which it has been an online magazine. But if we really want to establish ourselves as press and as a community that, you know what I mean, that dictates our narrative, we need to be able to put out information about people, about our community, about our interests, about our taste. Do you get what I'm saying? Our taste needs to be documented. There's no documentation of our taste. I don't feel like there is. Do you understand? Print is dying if you're talking about the business of print. So obviously me going into print now, logically might not make financial sense if you're looking from the outside looking in. But then again, like print is not dying because at the end of the day, statistics will show that like we repeat fashion, like industries, we're going back to archive fashion. We're going back to, do you know what I mean? Like re-wearing clothes. We're going back to sustainability. Do you understand? So technically, that era of fashion is probably the best era of fashion when you could pick up a magazine and see what's going, just the nostalgia of it.
Facts.
And I just thought, you know what? Online, you post something. After you like it, read it, send it to someone, it disappears. Do you understand? So how do we make this last longer? How do we make the efforts of people? Like I've seen Vogue covers come out and that's it. Let me not say Vogue because they have print, but I've seen mags, online mag covers come out that were so dope that I wish it had like a print version because I would have loved to have that there.
Or something.
Yeah, like, because think about how I've got magazines still from like 20 years ago and stuff. It's hard to throw away a mag.
Which magazines? Like
Vibe.
Yeah, Rewind.
Yeah.
What else was there?
Do you see what I'm saying?
I remember, I'm thinking about
Source
my cousin's
mags.
bedroom. Yeah. Source magazine.
You know what I mean? These things, like, you probably still have it somewhere in some garage tucked away because it's hard to throw away a magazine. Because you know why? It's a timestamp of an era. The timestamp. This, once you pick up that mag and you open it, it's going to tell you, like, everything you need to know about that era just by opening the mag. The texture of it, the way it's been styled, whoever's in it, the way the pictures are taken, everything about it, the styling of it, the makeup even, like everything is going to tell, the locations, everything's going to tell a story.
It's like a time capsule.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's what I want. I want us to have a time capsule of, do you know what I'm saying? Like, people need to know, like, yeah, in this era, there was, where's my podcast? Do you get what I'm saying? There was this. Do you remember that? Like, in 2024, where's my podcast? And they had this interviews and boom. This is what I feel like we need. Do you know what I'm saying? Not so much, because I feel like right now people's voices are being heard, but there needs to be some physical, like a physical print version of that. Yeah. That people, that's tangible. There needs to be a tangible version.
I had that word in my head as well.
Do you know what I'm saying? There needs to be a tangible version of it. So I feel like that is why we thought going into print would be sick. And also, you got to understand, let's keep it real. Not everybody's making a Vogue cover. Not to say they're not worthy of a Vogue cover, because they are.
But we know the powers that be maybe don't think they are.
And technically, for the audience that they're trying to reach, or for the, at the end of the day, is the editor and the company who decide who's going on a cover or whatever, for whatever reasons they choose. Do you understand? If I feel like, I like what Unknown T's done in fashion. I'm not saying he's the first ever, but I like what he's done. Do you know what I mean? As he was a drill rapper initially that just came from the block. He never thought he would be in the fashion industry like that. He never thought.
Runway for LV.
I don't think he told me he never thought that. Do you understand? So I just think it's sick because he is a model, but he was in Homerton. Do you understand? Like doing the opposite of being a model. The complete opposite. But he's telling me, like I was going to photo shoots because I'm a rapper. And makeup artists are saying, his bone structure and this and that, he's easy to shoot. Photographers are like, he's so easy to shoot. These are things that, like, he's thinking, what? But look at the models now that are, like, doing their thing. Unknown T is a model that could actually, do you understand?
Yeah, like if he wasn't a rapper, you could see him on any high fashion runway.
Exactly, and
His
you wouldn't be
frame,
surprised. His frame, everything about him, his frame, everything.
His complexion,
his structure, everything about him. Do you understand? So that's what I want people to grasp from certain things when we do it. But we're not taking him away from himself. So if you look at the shoot that we did with him.
I loved it, with the scarf.
Yeah, like that's him.
Yeah.
It's him. But if you see there's taste to it though, because he has taste. He's walked for LV. He's around taste. Do you understand? He's around high taste. He knows what taste is. He knows, trust me. They spent enough money to know what taste is now. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like that element of people needs to be shown. And what we're going to do, wait for him to get a Vogue cover? Nah, bro, we got to have him on somewhere where people can appreciate that or read the story that doesn't know him maybe and be like, well, this is interesting, you know, like, I've read his story, like, you know what I mean, talking about how he went to Uganda and done this, that, and do you understand? This is what we need to do. Have the narrative out there that you want to be out there. Not what people want to discuss, like, oh yeah, he's a drill rapper from Homerton. That's not the narrative, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was the element of the picture, or one of the major elements that was missing. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why we went into print and thought, like, let's just do it. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done because it was an idea, but mate, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it was definitely one of the most productive. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so needed. And I think everyone that's seen the magazine or that's bought a copy or even just seen little elements of it, it's like, raw, this is sick. Like, people that were even in it, they were like, yo, this is fire.
They're even shocked by the final product.
Yeah, like, everyone was like so appreciative of even being in it or featuring or just even having it. So I feel like, yeah, man, that's needed.
It is.
It's needed, man.
It definitely is needed. And obviously I got a copy. And what I loved about it most was seeing people in magazines that I wouldn't necessarily see in these types of magazines. When I say these type of magazine, I mean the way it's presented is like it's a, not a Vogue magazine, but it's of that. Do you know what I mean? That's obviously what you intended.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing Alex Iwobi and the creative direction of that part of it, and I'm like, bruv, this is wicked. This is an extension of who Alex Iwobi is. Finally, we've got those type of conduits that these entertainers need. Do you know what I mean? Because of platforms like yours, they're no longer going to be siloed into being perceived as just the rapper, just the footballer, just this, just that. And bro, honestly, I thank you for that. You get me? That's why we do Where's My TV, because this interview is an extension of you. You get it? That's why, man, we wanted to start this platform, because there's so many people doing incredible things within fashion. Like I said, universe builders like yourself that don't necessarily get to share your story, because it would be conceited if you put you were on the front of just DressCode Nation.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But you need something like this, bro. Like, you need to have these convos.
Yeah.
You get me, man?
No,
and
it's true.
honestly, this convo's been amazing. I'm gonna start rounding off, because how long has it been? Like 2:20 or something?
Mate, we need to cut this down.
No, we're dropping the whole thing. What do you mean?
Nah.
What?
It's gonna be on Drink Champs.
Yeah, drink some.
This is long, bro.
We might have to do parts, but bro, we need. This is wicked. You haven't said anything that people wouldn't want to hear. Do you get me?
Nah, I appreciate that, bro.
Bro, this is serious, man. And like you said, you've been 10 years in the game. You haven't really done interviews like that. People want to hear this, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I appreciate that. I feel like it's important, because I listen to a lot of interviews too, because I feel like you delve into a person a bit more, because then you understand what they're doing it for. Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's hard to tell a person through a photo. And 90% of people that's probably seen me is from a photo.
That's it.
Do you get what I'm saying? And if not a photo, probably on YouTube, on holiday somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like, so I get it.
Yeah.
So it's important sometimes to have this.
Like, I'm so happy people are going to get to know you more from this, because certain people must have a perception of you.
Yeah.
You get it? But then I feel like when you meet you in person, you're just the calmest, coolest, funniest guy, like just a normal brother. Do you know what I mean? But then if some people might see your pictures or something, they might think, oh, he's this type of person, so he's a bit standoffish, he's a celeb or whatever. But bro, you're just you, fam. And that's the beauty of it, fam. You're a human being that's in this for the right reasons, and your passion for this and your desire to help people has pushed you to this point. And I'm so excited to see what's coming next for you, bro.
Yeah, I got something, man. Don't worry, trust me.
Cool. What can we expect then?
Listen, like I said, I'm here to set up infrastructure for us, as in like creatives, not like anything specific, just creatives and people that are having an interest in fashion, learning it, studying it, working in it, just want to experience in it, whatever. So the next thing that I'm doing is obviously I'm going to take DressCode Nation even, a step further. Yeah, so I've got something coming up. That I know off camera I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, but the whole point of this, like I said, is we need our own narrative. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like everything that I'm doing from this point anyway, you're going to see is strictly about narrative. Like, okay, cool. I get where this guy's going with this thing now. I get it. Obviously now people understand it much better, because now it's more tangible and it's easier to understand, because before it was a bit lost in translation. Yeah. Because there was so much other things going on as well with like the whole industry. Sorry. But I feel like now people get it like, okay, cool, yeah, this is what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's going on. These are like the interviews that we've been seeing. This is the content that they're putting out, etc., etc. But the next stage is coming very soon too. This 10-year anniversary, so like this year, like I'm making sure everything that was in here, I'm putting it here. Do you get it? So that's all I will say now on camera.
We're gonna see it though.
But we'll see it. Yeah. Hopefully people will see it.
With everything you say, I have no doubt that will happen. I feel like at this point, you're undoubtable. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Like I said at the beginning of the conversation, it's funny how we're rounding off with the same thing. But honestly, Pete, thank you so much for this, bro.
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
Honestly,
seriously, I genuinely appreciate like you reaching out saying, yo, I wanna talk. I would have done this like ages ago. But I just felt like now it's a good time, because like a lot of stuff has happened. You've been there, you've seen the progress, and you've seen everything unfold too. So it made more sense.
No, I'm so happy we spoke now. And now before, because I would basically go up to P and be like, hey, P, when we looking in the black, bro, just wait. It would literally be like this. Bro, just wait. Trust me. I'm going to do something, and then we're going to make it happen. Because I remember when we was in, when you did the pop-up in Knightsbridge.
Knightsbridge, yeah.
Said, bro, I'm doing something. Just wait. And then as soon as he did it, you came to me and was like, bro,
trust me.
Yeah.
And that's because I wanted it to be here, like where man broke all of this down. Because I've never spoken about the magazine. Since we've launched, because we only launched recently. Yeah. But this been in the works for like over a year. Do you know what I mean? It's been in the works. So it's good that I was able to just have that conversation with you properly. So yeah, man, I appreciate you lot.
Sorry, man. Thank you. But obviously, we finished the episode with the last question. Same question to everyone. If you could give one piece of advice to anybody wanting to get into the fashion industry, what would it be?
Fashion is not as complicated as people think it is. The people in fashion make it seem complicated. So what you need to do is you need to find people that are like-minded, yeah, and grow with them. Share your ideas with them. Like, support their ideas, invest in their ideas, make sure that they invested in yours. Do you understand? Because when it's like that, you can, like, things are gonna happen. You can't be in 100 places at once, but if you've got like 3 friends that are genuinely like, I've got fashion friends, yeah, that all we discuss is like, yo, this person was here, yeah, do you see that happen with that brand and this creative director? We just discuss only fashion. Like, I've got them friends. So find you people that are just as dedicated to the cause as yourself, yeah, and grow with them. Because what you will see is that everyone has a different path. Do you know what I mean? You might be like in this position, as in you're having a podcast, for example. I might be in design or press magazine. We might have a friend that's in design or something. We all have different journeys, but we all have the same passion. Do you get what I'm saying? You're gonna meet certain people. I'm gonna be like, yo, that interview that you did was sick. This, that, and other. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I got some gems from that one. You're gonna tell me, yo, I linked up with that person, you know. Like, I might even need to connect you lot because he told me about this or she told me about that. Same with me. Oh yeah, do you know what? This person will be actually good for you, you know. We all have different journeys. And you'll be surprised, like, just having a community of 3 can turn into like a community of hundreds of thousands. Do you know what I'm saying? So just try to like get people that around you that are just as dedicated to the cause as you are, because then the passion never leaves. No matter how hard this stuff gets or how many obstacles you might face, trust me, man, they'll make it easier. Because you remember why you started this in the first place. We just thought this was fun, talking about fashion, talking about this, that's all we cared about initially. So everything after that is a bonus. So that's what I would say.
Like I was saying to you when we stopped recording for a bit, that episode was everything I thought would be plus more. Like, you've done so much, and I just like how we spoke about things for as long as we needed to speak about it for. And you've just given our audience so much. And like I said, you've built a universe and you've shown people how they can kind of do the same. And I think for me, ultimately, it comes down to the passion. Because what you've done isn't easy, bro. And I'm so happy that people can now look at you and know what came before the video that they see of you styling, looking nice, or doing the content for ASOS. They can look at a DressCode Nation post and know that they can scroll all the way back to 2014.
Yeah.
Like, Broski, it's honestly amazing. So again, thank you so much. Lastly, I just need you to basically look into the camera, tell them where to find you.
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram, uptown_P1. Yeah, I'm on mainly on Instagram. So, or check out DressCode Nation is at DressCode Nation.
30. And you know where to find us, WMTV_LDN on Instagram. Obviously, you're on YouTube already, TikTok. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And as I always say, keep it locked.